Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and that is David, aka Dream Twister. And for the love of God, we are doing the podcast, the real episode 301 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
Excuse me if I sound hoarse. I mean, the after the celebration of episode 300, I still haven't recuperated. I'm still hungover from a week ago.
Yes.
Exactly.
I don't even know how we made it home. I mean, that was a long trip, and I felt like we walked. But then again, I also don't remember much.
So maybe we did walk.
It's possible. My legs hurt, so maybe that has something to do with it. Yeah. Walking all the way back from the Reaper home. Yeah, man. That was a good time.
The Reaper home? I thought we were in St. Louis. Holy shit.
Wow, really? Did it look like St. Louis? Oh, okay.
or maybe I did end up there. I don't know how I got home. Well,
I know. That's a hangover all over again, isn't it?
Yes. Thank you to the Reapers for hosting us.
Yes. And we apologize for the mess we left behind.
Yes, I apologize for the roof and the hole in the wall. Where we were playing our new game, Find the Load Bearer.
Find the what? The load bearer?
and bed axe. You know bed axe, right? You have a bed, you have a few axes, you play bed axe. You know, that's our...
Okay, all right. I don't recall this.
It was your idea. You don't.
I was going to say, I was like, I don't recall this, but everybody was pointing at me, so I guess this was my idea. Yeah, I guess you're welcome. And we, please send us a bill.
And we're sorry.
We will happily not pay it, but we'll definitely take it for you.
We'll submit the claim for you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, guys! Real quick before we get into the usual spiel, I wanted to take a second to reflect on a couple of things. Because, a couple of weeks ago, we had I think two, maybe was that? I don't know, but we've had a Microsoft one, right? We've had a Microsoft where, Microsoft bought freaking Activision, and then we had the Sony one when they bought, they merged or whatever they did with Bungie. And so recent news, and I wanted to get your opinion on this because I feel like this may actually retroactively change a lot of what we said, but basically Microsoft has gone on record saying Call of Duty is gonna stay on PlayStation, sir. With existing and any future stuff like that. And what do you think, sir? This was something we didn't. I think you were pretty adamant this is not gonna happen, which I can agree with, right? Why would you spend that much to,
I was under the impression that, hey, no, it wouldn't make sense to put your games in competitors. I mean, you wouldn't pull Call of Duty from obviously from the places where it's making money right now. Obviously, PlayStation right now, they're doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
And but I did say, but this is gonna be temporary. This is just gonna fulfill the contracts that they have, and eventually, if they want those Call of Duty players, well, guess what? Call of Duty players are gonna have to consider their options.
Yeah.
Now, almost makes me wonder, and of course I don't believe this, but it almost makes me wonder. It's like, how perfect that now that Sony bought Bungie, they are now kind of like, you know what? Now that Sony got the chops to make let's say, if they wanted to make their own Call of Duty killer, they could. Not that I believe such a thing, but they have. They could make an awesome shooter, or who knows? Destiny 3 could be that. Who knows? My point is that I don't believe that was the case. I do believe that Phil Spencer 100% had the intention of keeping these games because this particular title, this major titles are too like the losses in money will be too great not to have them. Kind of like the Minecraft situation, if
Hmm.
if you will. Now they wouldn't necessarily make it with all games. I don't believe it's going to be. They're not saying, oh, all Activision games are going to be,
No, no, yeah, yeah,
because that's what happened with Bethesda. With Bethesda, yeah, they're keeping stuff like uh Elder Scrolls, what's it called, the online one, but
yeah. So
yeah, PSO, but they're not giving the Elder Scrolls 6, and you will think that's a huge title and that's a huge seller, and that will be, that could be playable anywhere and everywhere, but they're being selected. They're saying, no, no, we're keeping this on the ranch, so maybe it's that. Maybe Call of Duty was deemed too big of a title to just
I think,
try
yeah, I
to
think
put it.
they stand to make money in putting it everywhere, so it just made
Yeah,
sense.
it's the
Um,
Minecraft. It's a Minecraft
yeah,
thing all over again,
hmm
and
and they get a
that's
big portion of it anyway. So yeah,
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's smart. I think it's a good idea. Also shows. I mean, when you see Bungie talking about, hey, we're meaning to keep our title multi-platform. Uh, Even though I already established that, yeah, Destiny is gonna be the only one, and the rest, that's it. Not the other, whatever the other IP is. Uh, but if they say that, if they said that, then I can understand why Microsoft wanted to like reiterate their position of,
hmm
oh,
it kind of
if
put them on
Call of
on their
Duty,
heel. Yeah,
yeah, because before they were just using, oh, we'll fulfill all the contracts. Now they're saying clearly, no, for that in the future. And you know what? We also want to bring it to Nintendo because, yes, that's another platform that is available that can potentially uh, bring money. I don't know about a lot of Nintendo Call
people
of
play
Duty
it. Yeah,
players.
I don't think they.
I think
Yeah,
I think Activision. I mean, it was a smart decision to stop making games because that's not the audience. That's not the Call of Duty audience.
yeah, I agree.
Unless you're, yeah,
And
unless your
I don't think
idea
they
is,
were. They can probably tell from the sales and just go, they're
mhm,
not really moving units there. It's not worth
no, no, no.
the
But
port
if
job.
that's the entry, the gateway drug into the other versions, then sure, But I mean, that's pandering to the notion that, oh, Switch is for kids, and Nintendo is for kids, and that's not the reality, As much as we like to joke around that it is. Obviously,
For sure.
Switch. No, yeah, yeah. That's not. There's not that many kids in the world that have bought already so many Switches that Switch have become the fastest or the highest selling console, uh, surpassing Nintendo Wii already.
Hmm.
So yeah.
It's insane. Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to touch base with you on that because it obviously, you know, it
Felt like a
bared
bad.
mentioning. You
If
know.
it felt like backpedaling. I still honestly believe that there's gonna be a lot of time. I mean, obviously, this investment is to keep a lot of the titles on their garden, um, but no, Call of Duty is very much like Minecraft. Is very much a money maker still. I can see other games like I don't know what will be the next one. I don't know what the situation is going to be with World of Warcraft. To be honest with you, I don't know how that's going to work.
I don't
Uh,
know either. I mean, it's not a. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about
yeah,
that. That's bigger on PC anyway. So it's yeah, but I don't know.
that's big on PC. It's only on PC.
Yeah,
So
I know what I'm saying. Yeah,
those are the
the whole.
titles that you don't know exactly how is that going to play about. Are they going to be bringing those experiences to consoles? Because I mean, most of those experiences just don't make sense. But then again, we thought the same thing about
But
Diablo,
Diablo,
and
yeah, I was gonna say Diablo came over and did gangbusters.
yeah, and it was a very well done version of it. the console version of Diablo is actually a a very proper proper version of that game. Most to my surprise, because there have been other type of games that they have tried to make, that they have tried to cram controls into, and you kind of have to specialize it. That's what they did, right? That's they made Diablo 3 a little bit more specialized towards gamepads, to the point where they actually have, I think, a dodge movement that you don't have on the PC version of it, because you don't have that option. But it's because of, hey, because of the way you play it on the gamepad, it makes sense to have this dodging option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
yeah.
All right. So yeah, again, just wanted to touch bases. We had that as one of our hot topics, and I found it interesting, and I feel it does also lend a little credence to Bungie saying it and Sony saying it's like, okay, well, yeah, I guess that will be true. We'll see. All
It makes
stands
sense.
to be stands to be seen, as we know, because nothing is guaranteed. So, all right, guys. Well, first of all, if you are this is your first time tuning in, please, if you haven't already, please go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. It takes you right to our Facebook group. And of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. What we normally do is go into what we have been up to, move on into maybe an item two of some sort of news. And then, of course, we finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic. My God, I had it up, dude. I had it up.
I'll give you a hint. It has to do with Nintendo.
I know, but I don't remember the exact words.
Well, let me help you with that, brother. It is called Nintendo's Direct. Their plans in 2022.
Yes, that's right.
2022.
That was supposed to be a full sentence, sir. Nintendo directs their plans in 2022. Get it? It's a play on words. Yeah, it's a play on words. Yeah.
I see what you did.
Yeah.
I just fucked it up. See, next time.
No, you good.
Remember. Next time you remember your old topic.
I know. It's all my fault.
It
it's really all my fault. I apologize profusely. But anyway, yeah, Nintendo, regardless of what the hell Microsoft and Sony are doing with their crazy acquisitions and mergers, Nintendo's like, no, fuck that. We're straight and narrow. We're gonna keep it going. And here's a slew of announcements that we have planned for 2022. And so some good stuff. I think the show itself was about 40 minutes. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. So we're gonna go into that in later on in the show. First and foremost, sir, let's of course start with what we have been up to. And I am very curious about a certain game you were been sharing images of recently.
I can't talk about that. Game's under embargo.
Is it? Oh, okay.
When I say embargo, I mean I really haven't played that much of it. No, the game's out. Game's literally out today as of this recording. That game is, I'm gonna leave it for last, because I want to tell you about all the other games that I've been playing, dude, this week. I've been playing so many games. I've been playing Ender Lilies. I've been playing Death Door. I've been playing Gris and Mega Man 11 and The Messenger.
Wait. Stop. I feel like we're this is definitely a setup to me. No, never mind. I didn't try any of those. You played all these games?
No, never mind. I didn't play any of those. Instead, I'm going to disappoint you with what I've really been playing, which is, I don't even know why I'm playing this. It's called Holy Fuck. Hold on, my bad. It's not called Holy Fuck, but I just started it by mistake. I clicked on it. This is it's an old title. It's Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep, a Wonderland's adventure. Is it? Or
this is the one-off thing. Okay, I gotcha.
This is the one. This is a game that came out. I mean, this is a DLC actually for Borderlands 2. So not even Borderlands 3. That was the most recent one. No, this is the one for Borderlands 2, and I still can't find the whole name. Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep, a Wonderland's one-shot adventure. That's the whole name. There you go.
It's a mouthful.
Yes, of course. That is about
Oh,
yes. So, what is Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep? Well, Assault on Dragon's Keep was actually DLC that came out for Borderlands 2, like I mentioned, um, back in 2013, maybe. I don't even know. Anyway, um, surprise, kind of surprising, but understandably, they actually re-released it as its own standalone game recently, and I think that obviously they're doing that because they are trying to get people to get hyped about the new non Borderlands game. But I mean, it looks like Borderlands, obviously,
yeah. I was gonna say yeah.
because it's based on her characters, but it's actually Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which I had a chance to look. Well, not everybody can pull it up on YouTube now. The gameplay of it, because I was curious if it was gonna be like how's that gonna be? Is it gonna be too different from Borderlands 3 or Borderlands in general? Because I like that gameplay, but at the same time, I recognize that it could get a little tedious and it's a lot more enjoyable with other people. But none of my people like or play Borderlands games, so it's, I'll be soloing it like I did all the other ones. Sadly enough,
Sorry, not a fan.
I uh, I actually, believe it or not, I actually prefer Borderlands to Destiny as far as playing solo. I
Oh,
find it, I find, yeah, not because of anything against Destiny. Obviously, they're two different. I mean, the the whole the whole gameplay aspect is only similar in the fact that they're shooters, but they are, they play very differently. um, but I like I somehow enjoy the silly, stupid humor of Borderlands, which is not great. I realize it's not spectacular, but it is still amusing, and it is still, it's well written. It's, if anything, I give him that. It's not trying to pretend. It knows that it is stupid and is owning to it. I'm not the biggest fan of its developer Gearbox, but I realize that they actually have a good, they have a good IP here. They have a good game, and a decent story. Believe it or not, even with its ridiculousness, the story, once it keeps you entertained, it keeps you wanting to know what's going to happen next, and it has some moments that are, it might be, very touching or very like, oh shit, I did not expected that. Remember that there was a game that came out a while back. There was a Telltale's game that was based on the Borderlands universe,
excellent one
and
too. Yeah.
you played it, and you remember the humor of it. That game was kind of hilarious, and I'm not gonna say that the shooter, that the Borderlands is that level of writing, but it's obviously based on that more or less, and it works. It works for me. So Tiny Tina has, the whole thing with Tiny Tina's drag it the whole Tiny Tina world is that it's not really like another planet or a world or anything like that. This is all her imagination. They are playing a Dungeons and Dragons like, type of game. I forget what they actually call it in the game, and she is basically the dungeon master. And as you're playing, she will be narrating some of the things as the dungeon master will do, and then sometimes somewhat, let's say she makes something too hard and someone calls it out on her, she'll make the change. um and but it actually plays like Borderlands. This one is the closest one that plays like to normal Borderlands, because it is based on Borderlands 2 actually.
Yeah, it was the same engine and everything. So yeah.
Exactly. Like they try a little bit to pretend that, oh, you could use magic, but in reality the magic in this game is more like, oh, well, now you're equipping these grenades that instead of you lobbing something, you're just shooting fire out of your hands, for example, for a little bit. But it works exactly like grenades, and you have a limit on the amount of uses that you can have, or you can just use fucking grenades, and and the thing is, the randomizer, which I really appreciate this. The weapon randomizer in the Borderline games is so awesome that the weapons feel genuinely unique, each of them, and sometimes hilariously
Mm.
so for example, I I was given on a quest that I completed a shotgun that shoots swords, mini swords. When those
That's
swords
great.
hit the character, hit his target, they become literal swords, smaller swords that explode. So you have a weapon that shoots swords that turn into smaller swords that explode. Like, okay, just because it's Borderland.
Wow.
You have another weapon that it is I guess the thing with it is that every now and then when you're using it, it slips from your hand and it just falls. It's like you're using it, it'd be like whoops, and it jumps out of your hand. So suddenly you have to look for wherever it fell and pick it up
In the
again.
middle of a firefight.
In the middle of a fire, it could just go like that,
Wow.
you know. Um, and they just play with the idea of making the weapons unique, and it's not like a dumb randomizer where it's like, oh, well, this weapon now fires and heal you, and that's it. It's like, it's not small things. I mean, they have those too, but when they want to make something special, like they make something that is like completely ridiculous and bonkers. I haven't I've only put about 10 hours on it,
Mhm.
so I haven't got. Oh,
10
and also
hours. That's like and it's a DLC. That's actually so it's pretty meaty.
it is. Yeah, I mean,
Because
those
it's a
DLCs
9.99
were
DLC is
meaty.
how it was, or standalone DLC, yeah.
Yeah. It's a $10 game. I mean, also remember my play style. I look into nooks and crannies and pick up everything. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone could say, it took me 5 hours to finish it. It's like, yeah, probably. Um, so I'm not gonna boast that, oh, it's a super meaty game, because so far I've only seen three different locations that I've been, but those locations are vast. They're huge maps. Um,
And you're playing this on PS5?
I'm playing on PC.
PC, okay.
Although I believe it's also on PS5. Uh, it is the Borderlands 2 engine, so it's starting to show its age and starting to, like, the annoyances of it are there. But because I haven't played 3 in such a long time, I'm probably not picking up on a lot of them.
Mhm.
But I can tell that it's still like, okay, this game is kind of old already. It's good when it came out, but it is kind of it is ancient. But that's fine, because all it's doing is getting me hyped for Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which is the actual, we're using an advancement of the Borderlands 3 engine,
Mhm.
which is an advancement of the Borderlands 2 engine, and so on and so on. And it has, and this one is actually, instead of being, oh, we're gonna try to, make these weapons and stuff look medieval. This one's actually going for that medieval feel. I mean, not 100%. You're still shooting fucking weapons anyway, but you're casting magic that are actual magic. It's not a grenade that suddenly looks like you are using magic. I think there was a little bit of gameplay where this guy was casting this magic spell that suddenly had meteors coming out from the sky and falling on the enemies, and I was like, oh, that's an awesome area of effect attack. That's like, that looks really neat. um those games look like they are like they're very fun to jump in, and you don't have to worry about too much. Just shoot what's in front of you, you know.
Hmm.
Um, so and I am very interested in Wonderlands. Hence, the reason I'm playing this one. And I got a feeling that I can see where this story might be going, and hopefully it could be something that is actually special. Rather than just tiny, it's like crazy and stupid. It's like it's not that. Borderlands 3, believe it or not, that has its moments where where like all the stupidity aside, it had its moments that were kind of sad, you
Okay.
know, and characters were coping with difficult situations and stuff like that. So it's kind of neat, that they're able to, in a game that is about, it's pretty much a comedy and a joke almost. They're able to bring some, some humanity on the story a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's. I mean, but the gameplay itself, it's still Borderlands 2. You're still doing the exact same thing that you were doing. It's just that now shit looks medieval. It has a medieval skin. So there you go, bada bing. Do I recommend it?
I don't know.
Probably not, unless you are interested I mean, it's $10, so why not? You can check it out. But if the world of Borderlands has never called you, this this is not gonna change your. I mean, this DLC from the older Borderlands, so it's not really gonna change your mind or anything like that. If you like Borderlands, sure, why not? Because if you like Borderlands, you're probably curious, at least for Tiny Tina's Wonderland. And unless you just hate that character, and I know some people that really just cannot stand that character. That character uh, is voiced by the great voice actress. Well, what's her name? She does the voice of Aloy
Aloy,
on.
yeah, I'm trying to remember. I'll look it up here.
Yeah. I know her name. It's just old age right now. It's escaping me.
Oh, dude, who are you telling?
But but
Ashley Birch.
Ashley Birch,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And I mean, girl has range. All right, she know how to do different characters, and she was great as Eloy in Horizon. She's hysterical on this one because I feel like this is more her style. Almost like she used to have a YouTube small series, like a series called Ash, what are you playing, or something like that.
Hmm.
And it was always this super super ridiculous small sketches that were hilarious. Honestly, they were funny. Not all of them, but the vast majority of them were. Um, and all of them obviously gaming related. So that's that. I feel like Tiny Tina and the whole Wonderlands world, it's kind of borrowing from that a lot.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. That's what it looks like anyway, too. So
Yeah, like I think, I think the demo that you can watch on YouTube of gameplay had you. How do you tackle lowering the drawbridge to go into a castle? Well, you can try romancing it, and it works. Romance
okay.
the drawbridge, and it actually works. Hello there, drawbridge. It's just too bad. Not even. It's yeah. That's my humor. But you mentioned that yes, I was actually playing something before I jumped into the podcast, and I didn't put enough hours on this or I haven't put hours might be giving. I didn't put enough minutes to
Wow.
actually
Okay.
give a
So you just
proper.
went in and created a character.
I
So
created.
you
I spent most of the time creating a character. No. I didn't even take time to do that because I just wanted to like try it out because I was very very curious because the the incredible amount of talk and hype that there is behind this game like had me too curious. And of course, I'm talking about a title released this today, Friday, called Lost Ark. Now, I don't know much about Lost Ark, so I can't. I know that from what I've read that this game has been actually been out in South Asia,
Oh, okay.
and since 2019, and now it's coming. It's coming to the West. Obviously, it has some extra stuff, and the game is actually a free to play game.
Oh, I was gonna ask. It's a free to play. Okay.
It is a free to play game, and
Is this
which is
PC only?
already what's that?
Is it PC only?
Yes, right. It is PC. It is PC only. As far as I know, I think no, yeah, I haven't heard of it anywhere. So yeah, it's PC only. So it's free to play. Steam says that I put 103 minutes, so that should tell you an hour and a half. It's all I was able to play. So,
And 102 were creating your character.
102 was good. Exactly.
It's important. I hear you.
I have to say that the game is published by Amazon Games, and you know that Amazon Games made that other game that became
a New World,
like New World, that became like the talk of for at least a month. You don't hear much about it now, but for at least a hot month, it was like, oh, you gotta try this. This is the next MMO. This is the thing that you have to play. Da 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 da. Well, this one's not designed by it. They just picked up the publishing rights to bring it to the West. The game does a fucking exceptional work of giving you a very good impression when you load it. It is one of those games where you could tell, oh yeah, this. There have been some work and polish done, and there better be, because again, this game has been out in South Asia since 2019. But it's a game that it oozes of a polishedness on everything you see, from the presentation of the characters, which I believe I just showed. I think I shared with you a small video that I took, because I started seeing the character armors that you can find it, and of course, being those I believe it's a Korean developer. I could be wrong. Again, I don't know much about it, and I haven't read the wiki, but I know where it's coming from, and I know they like the art style. Well, every character is fucking gorgeous. Like, all the playable characters are gonna be like fucking Adonises and Madonnases. And everybody's gonna have like pointy ass armor or scantily clad clothing, although they don't, at least so far, they haven't, it hasn't gotten to the point where it's embarrassing to look at. Like, I haven't seen anything like in fucking Terra. Like, you play Terra, and you could make characters that will clearly look underage, and on top of that, the way that things that were escaping that were wearing, it'd be like, how am I not in jail for playing this game? Almost. And they censored it for the West, believe it or not, Terra. But this game reminds me a little bit on the art style. It reminds me a little bit of Terra, but obviously a lot more modernized. The game actually. So what type of game is it? So the game is actually, it is an MMO. It's a free to play MMO, but it plays like Diablo. So it plays from an isometric, view. And I know, right? Because you wouldn't think, well, if it's an isometric view, you probably don't need to have, you just have to make it look good. You don't have to like spend all this processing power into so many details, and yet it does, because you can actually zoom in all the way to where If you want to look at your character like a third, almost like third person camera, you can. You're not gonna be able to control him very well because he's still controlling on that isometric view. But there it is. You can have that, and it looks fucking gorgeous. It looks freaking gorgeous. Like uh, this company must have thought, okay, we're gonna make sure that we get a lot of money out of this game. Rather than sell it, we're gonna make it free to play, but we want to make it attractive, so that people can at least pay attention.
Hmm.
But on top of making it attractive, we need to make sure that the gameplay is on point. And I mean, it's still early for me to give any judgment on the
Of course, yeah,
gameplay,
of course.
but the little bit that I have played, like I am impressed. Like I'm impressed with the sound quality. Some of those attacks have very particular sounds that are like, holy shit! I don't remember hearing something so cool on a game in a while. Um, and the game lets you test pretty much all the characters before you actually commit to one of them. Um, and it also does a pretty good job of showing you, like, okay, well, this is the top. If you're looking to play support, this is the type of characters. Like it shows you the data is there. Maybe it's not clear at first, to be honest with you, but the data is there. If you know where to look at, you can figure it out. Like, oh, okay, so I'm playing the paladin, so paladin's gonna be a support group because, of course, noble, what all that. Uh, the game have classes and subclasses between those classes. Like, for example, they have warrior, mage, assassin, martial artist, and gunners. So, but if you play a warrior race, for example, or class, for example, then you have subclasses that you can become. You can become a berserker, a paladin, or a gun lancer. Gun
Mm,
lancer sounds really cool, but
it does, yeah.
I picked paladin because I wanted to test the waters first. For mage classes, you could be a sorceress or you can be a bard, which
Mm,
also really cool when I saw the way she played. The melodies will have different type of impact. I think she's a support character though. If you're playing an assassin class, you're playing shadow hunter or deathblade. Don't ask me. They look very pointy, all of them, both
oh,
of them.
okay. They're very
So
sharp. Okay.
yes, yes, and they both look like, yes, female fatales, of course. And then you have the martial artist, which has four options. You have striker, which I guess it's the punchy class. You have uh, war dancer, which I just realized is called war dancer and not wanderer. I thought
Mhm.
they said wanderer. It's war dancer. Uh, you have the scrapper and the soul fist, which for some reason I don't know why she's not the punchy one, or maybe she
Wow.
is also.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe.
Anyway, um, oh, and the gunner class, it has the gunslinger, which, as you can imagine, is it's the cow lady, the cow girl, the cow gal, however you say it. You got the artillerist, a dead eye, which might as well be a dead eye comparison to freaking Dante,
Oh, oh wow.
and the sharpshooter, which whose introduction is very awesome. Also, when you pick them up when you select them on screen, they do this little like pose and shit. It looks
Yeah, I'm
really
looking
cool.
at one of the. I guess this is the trailer for it, but it looks. I mean, it looks
It looks
it looks like
very
there's
cool.
money involved. You know what I mean, for sure. And by the way, it is Smilegate, which is Korean. It's a Korean development.
Korean. Okay, there you go. There you go. Yeah, they are. I mean, you look at the art style, you're like, okay, yeah, this is a Korean game, uh, and with all the tropiness of them, for better or worse. Yes, the world building and the gameplay is on point. Again, so far, but I have no reason to doubt it because so far, it is the biggest game It was the biggest game on Steam ever, and the game had not released yet. You know how people were playing this? If you bought the $99 Founders editions, with whatever it had, they gave you a 3-day head start. There's also
Wow.
a $49.99 and then a $15 tier. I'm not sure if with the $49.99 it also gave you the 3-day head start. Maybe, don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But the thing is, people knew this was a free to play game, and they were like, "No, I can't wait 3 days. I need to play it now. This looks, this is too rad." Probably because they knew, because obviously the game has been out. The game is sitting at a overwhelmingly positive on Steam already, and I guess reviews are gonna start pumping out here or there. But I had no doubt that it might have its detractors, from some of the websites, but for the most part, I can see this game doing very, very well. If this those free to play games, do we have them on our on our
Oh, on our
fantasy
draft,
league?
or yeah, our league. Yes, free to play is on there.
I'm gonna have to go in and check on that one, because
No, I might outbid
I
you
don't
now. I
know.
don't know. I may have
I don't
already put a
know.
bid since you've been talking. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm just saying. No, I got yes. I have no doubt that I mean, it should be scoring well. Obviously,
It sounds like it's doing
the
very well so far. Yeah.
servers have been crammed, but of course they have actually. It seems like they were at least ready for for uh for the launch, because they let you pick different servers, and I went ahead and picked one that said they had low population, and I was able to log immediately.
Hmm.
Server where I'm at is called uh, Adian or Aridan or something like that. Um, I'll post the name if anybody's interested in joining me. I think I saw that uh, uh, Shadow is interested in this game also.
Oh, I'm sure. This
And
is right up her alley. Yeah.
yeah. And there's no fucking barrier of entry. The game is free. The game is
Mhm.
free and looks insane. Now, hopefully, it's scalable enough to where it runs well on different computers. Because what I saw was like, holy shit, this these graphics are good,
Mm.
But at the same time, it could be like, holy shit, I don't know if a lot of entry, entry level computers are going to be able to board this properly as it should.
Mhm.
Uh, I saw people playing it also on Twitch before the game was released, and I was curious. And all I can think while I was watching this was, "Se jodió Diablo." They are like, Blizzard must be looking at this like, oh shit.
Mhm.
Because I've seen gameplay of Diablo 4, and of course it looks great and all that for the people that have that like those games. But dude, a lot more characters, different with various different styles of gameplay, um, and an incredibly fucking gorgeous looking game. It gives you a very, very good impression when you load it. The only thing where I definitely see faltering is the story, and I'm sorry, it's one of those things that it's probably a translation issue or whatnot, but it seems like it's going to be the same tropey ass stories that you just it becomes like you don't care, like it becomes a blurred in the background, like
Mhm.
it's just noise, because the forces of and then the gods created the arcs, and which are powerful things, and good and evil, and the goddess
Good
Terragaya. It's
and
like,
evil. That's
no,
hilarious.
No one gives a shit. It is it is bad. At least nothing that has happened on the game. Well, that's not true. There was a thing in my very short playthrough. There was a thing that had me like, oh, okay, interesting. At least I know this is not gonna be like a fucking complete bore fest like fucking Terra was. Um, but because it also, at least the first hours of it's kind of heavy and a little a little too heavy for my liking
Mm,
on the story. Like it wants to give like and it's not that it interrupts you with like exposition or anything like that. And obviously you are playing while you're getting this information, but like I just want to start, whacking things, or cutting mobs with my sword. I don't want to hear about this a completely uninteresting story that you're giving me. And yeah, it looks cool, it looks amazing, you did a gorgeous job, but it's a very bland story about so far. It's not
I
like.
was really gonna ask. I was like, it's a little early on. I don't know if you're
No,
gonna
no,
be
but
expecting
what I've
anything.
read also, I've read people that they have been playing on there, or they know about it, and that's the concern. Like Fextra Life or whatever is their thing.
Oh, okay. I know you don't know.
The guy that does a lot of Dark Souls playthroughs also, and has the quintessential wiki for Dark Soul games and like games of this type. So of course this now is included in the. But on his basically review preview of the game, it was like, oh, this is known that this just has one of those stories that you're not gonna care about. It's not gonna be like, what game did it good? Final Fantasy 14.
Mm,
In Final Fantasy 14, it is an MMO, but it still has the story quality of a single player game. It's not, because the problem with a lot of MMOs is that because all players have picking out different characters and different things, like everything has to be kind of homogenized and very general, you know
yeah.
to where it can make it boring sometimes. um World of Warcraft, believe it or not, is also a good one that knows how to deliver a decent
I was
story
gonna
to
say, would
follow.
that be their the one thing that they can combat this game with is they will, or at least they should, put more emphasis into the story than perhaps this other game does.
Blizzard, Diablo. You mean with Diablo?
With yeah,
Well,
well, with whatever type of game they bring
I
out,
guess
yeah,
this game competes with both, right? Because it is
yeah.
an MMO like World of Warcraft, but plays like Diablo. Like who knew? Um, yeah, no, Blizz. If anything, uh, Blizzard have the opportunity to actually deliver on a story. The problem is they they could they could go either way. Sometimes their stories are awesome. Sometimes it's like, well, this was not super great, but I still think that whatever Blizzard can deliver storytelling wise is gonna be a lot better than what this game
Yeah,
is
that's what I mean.
setting
I
up to
feel like
deliver
that'll be
so
their
far.
that'll be how they compete. It's like,
Right?
okay, well, we're not going to be free to play unless they make free to play. We're not going to be free to play, but at least, you're going to get a compelling story. So,
Yeah, 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 yeah. This is the type of game for people that like to grind. So that's why I was showing, particularly was showing Chaos, even though he doesn't play a lot of PC games or anything like that. Miss Reaper has a recent PC, and I can see them both going like, trying it out at the very least. Um, Again, no barrier of entry, and
other than
and
the
very
PC.
high, other than owning a PC. Yeah, sorry. Which
Not
nowadays
a
is
huge barrier of
an
entry.
unsurmountable barrier. If you don't own one already, it's like give up. You can't. Your time has passed already. No, but I'm looking forward of to try it out, play some more. At least until I can think of another game recently that was out that also showed very very good production values. Like this game has excellent production values so far from what I've seen,
Hmm.
and from what the reviews have mentioned. Uh, but Genshin Impact was another one that sometimes you'll be playing the game and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe this is. I can't believe I got this for free. That I'm playing this right now. This game's awesome, and but then it gets to the point where you're like, oh, okay, so this is where I can tell I'm playing a free to play game because
Hmm.
uh, if if I'm okay with grinding, I'll probably be okay with just playing through without spending a penny. But if I get bored, this game's gonna make sure that I feel the grind, so that I'll be compelled of buying, the XP doubler or whatever. I don't know what the monetization is on this game or how it works. I'm just surprised that to hear that I haven't heard anybody complain about it. For a free to play game, that's kind of incredible. It's kind of like, okay, they must be doing something very right, or maybe the game hasn't been out there long enough to where people are starting to realize, oh, this is the paywall right here.
Yeah.
This is where you hit the limit. What appears to be a soft limit, but in reality, it's it's gonna be almost impossible for you unless you give some money. And to be fair, I wouldn't mind. They have a $15 tier. I wouldn't mind, going that from the get go. They seem to have done an outstanding game from the looks of it,
Yeah,
and
sounds like
I
it.
want to support that. Like I don't want to support the notion that all free to play games are garbage because they're just about the money. I mean, all the games are about the money, dumbass. All the games are all are about the money. They just have different monetization strategies, and yes, the strategies of a free to play game tend to veer a lot more towards the predatory and fucked upness. Um, and who knows if this is one of them, but so far
It remains
nobody
to
has
be seen. Yeah.
complained. Nobody has nothing complained. Another thing that kind of surprised me, although I don't know why, but uh I guess the game is kind of strict with its gender defined roles. Something that you will see getting at least looked at on this day and age, because the classes are actually gender locked.
Yeah.
So
So
for
I'm
example,
assuming women can only be a certain
where
thing, and
oh the if you have a male character, like the warriors are all male,
mhm.
mage classes are all female, assassin classes are female so far, and then the martial artist has three females and one male, and then the gunner class has one female and three males. So I guess there's balance in the force, so to speak.
I guess, yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah.
But in this day and age, it's the
Hey,
surprise.
so you know what? I would be the first to say I don't give a shit. They made this. This is their story. This is their game.
There
You
you
know what I
go.
mean? If they did it purposely to send a message, pretty sure they did not. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure it was just, hey, this is how we wanted to make it. So, if anybody has an issue, it's free. You don't even have to
You
play
don't
it.
even
You know what
have
I mean?
to.
So it's like, hey, I don't know. I don't have a problem with that, and that's probably
No, no,
I
no.
would like to think that the internet is sensible enough to just shut up about it sometimes.
What? This universe? No, son. You
Yeah,
must
I
be
know.
you must be thinking of any other country other than America. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah, man. That's pretty much what I've been doing. I'm trying to think. Have I watched anything of importance? Babe, have we watched? Did we watch anything this week?
This is great.
Probably not. I'm gonna remember later on and
I
gonna be
know.
like,
I mean, that's the
oh
normal, right?
yes, I watched X, but no, I don't. Fuck no. You know what? I did watch something.
I,
So
I'm sure you did, bro.
fuck. What the hell
Did you
do I
finish The
have?
Witcher?
I did finish. I didn't talk about that last time,
You
or
talked about The Witcher, but I didn't know if
I
you.
didn't.
I don't know
I
if
don't
you.
believe. Yeah, I probably. Yeah, I probably didn't. Um. Yes. I did. Actually, finish The Witcher, and yes, I am very happy. With how things are. It's still an interesting show. Um. My wife is finding it a little slow, and I
Hmm.
can see what she means. It's like there's some episodes where not a lot it's going on,
Hmm.
uh but I still say, honey, but it's not it's good that they're going at this pace, because otherwise we'll be complaining of, oh, the shit is wrapping up too fast, or they're going too fast, even though there are some instances where it kind of jumps crazily a little bit. But and I don't have to go into details. You actually gave a pretty good. You actually spoke about it
Hmm.
last time. Um, I'm gonna mostly agree, or probably totally agree with you. I don't
Okay.
remember what were the things that you brought. I don't think you had anything against it necessarily. I think you scored it, what, like a low, like a
I think I gave it like a 3.5 or something like
three
that.
five.
I still enjoyed the first season,
Uh huh.
probably a little bit more. Maybe not 100% on the way it was told, but what was happening and stuff like that. This one,
Oh, right, right, right. That's what
yeah,
that was your, yeah. I knew you had some sort of of a particular critique on it, and I have to agree. Yes, yeah. I wasn't a fan of the way it was delivered on the first season, but I could tell I can at least tell that the first season felt like every episode has something really exciting. You
yeah.
know,
This one there was a few episodes that were pretty cool.
Mhm.
But overall, I felt like it was a lot more Siri training.
Right.
Things with oh my god, what is her name? What is what?
Jennifer.
Yennefer, yeah. The things with Yennefer, like certain decisions that they made with her, which are not in the
Mhm,
books, definitely not in book two.
mhm.
But they wanted to they wanted to take some extra steps. I do like how it finished, but it was kind of like a nice little interesting reveal.
Mhm.
Um, I'm curious to see how they build off of that. That's a character. Well, I won't spoil it here, but it
No.
basically it definitely lends into what we already know of the Witcher world from
Yes.
the books. I mean, from the games. So
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Overall, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I think I think I liked that a little bit more. I'm gonna give a 4.
Okay.
And I was very entertained, very pleased um, throughout, even though with those small episodes that weren't as fast paced or as interesting. Like you said, a lot of theory training and
Hmm.
with Jennifer. I thought it was still interesting to know about. I actually remember what I saw. I remember I saw two things.
Oh my god.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. One of them is a movie called what's it called? A Million Ways to Die in the
Oh
West.
my god. So before you even say anything about that, that is such a you movie. I think it's a movie that would like, yeah, you would probably be into. Now proceed, sir. How was it?
What are you talking about? I don't like cowboy movies. All right.
Sure, sure.
Also,
That may be the one thing that will stand against the possibility, but
also,
wacky comedies, on the other hand, are
wacky
your shtick. So
How do you know it was a wacky comedy? Did you
I've
happen to
seen this.
accidentally you
Of
saw it?
course, yes, I've seen this movie. I saw
Yeah,
it in
this
the
is
theater, bro.
you what?
Yes, I saw this shit in the theater.
Why?
Oh,
What?
it was Brad and Tina. We just all just got together to go see it, and Joe came with her, and it was just like an idea, and then we went to go see it. It's like,
hell? This game. I mean, this game. This movie. This movie from 20. Oh yeah, I guess 2014. This movie's fucking awful.
Oh, I know. I
Holy
know.
fuck! This movie's not great. I'm not gonna call it trash because
Oh, it's
I
trash, bro.
feel
It's trash.
well.
No,
I,
there really isn't much there.
okay, all right. You're right. You're right. I'm not even gonna fight it because it is not. It's not great. It's not good. It's not decent. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, yeah, it
But
is.
I don't even know how to feel because I feel like I was surprised with some of the names that I saw appearing there. It's like,
Mhm.
holy shit, what? Why? This is first of all, we should preface. This is the director and I believe writer also was Seth MacFarlane. Seth
Seth
MacFarlane.
MacFarlane, yeah.
MacFarlane, yeah.
That's where, how I say that. That's why, or how
That's the
he
warning sign.
no. That's not the warning sign because he did the show that I think you watched for a little bit, which was like a spoof on Star Trek. I can't remember the name now.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so
I
he
forgot
did
about.
that.
Yeah,
Obviously, he's done the Family Guy. He's done, so he has, and the Family Guy
I don't care
for
about the Family Guy.
yeah.
I don't
We were
appreciate it.
watching it for a bit, and I found it to be pretty hilarious. Um, but fell off, at some point. And I
Yeah.
think that popularity at its time was a way for him to be able to get these big names. And
Mm,
then the movie came out, and well, where's Seth MacFarlane now? You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
exactly.
So yeah,
It's like, you call me for this? Like fucking Liam Neeson. Neil Neeson was in this movie, bro.
yeah,
What am I saying? Neil Patrick Harris was in this movie, bro.
yeah.
um, it
I mean,
has
Neil
Sarah
Patrick
Silverman.
Harris
One,
is not above doing comedy, wacky comedies. I mean,
oh,
hello,
true.
Harold and
Yeah, yeah,
Kumar and all that. So yeah,
yeah. That's true. Not to mention, uh, it had some cameos that I'm not gonna spoil, in case you're curious about it. And yes, don't spoil them because even if we're saying that it's trash, I there's gonna be people that are gonna be curious and they're gonna want to watch, and especially if they're okay with like wacky movies. When I say we say wacky comedies, we're talking about like Police Academy level of quality, but not. But the new era where it's not as funny, it might bring a chuckle or two, maybe.
sure.
Uh, yeah, you're like sure. Oh, why? Yeah, no, I'll be honest with you. I'll be very honest with you. I started watching this movie. Me and my wife started watching this movie, and then at some point we were like, "This is too stupid. You wanna stop? You wanna stop?" And we'll go into The Witcher, and we were both like, "Yeah, let's stop. Let's stop. Let's just go. I'm going to The
So you never
Witcher."
finished it.
So wait.
Oh,
So I didn't finish it then. And we watched The Witcher, and then like I think I went to the computer, and wife didn't have anything else to do, so she went ahead and put it and put it on from where we left it off. And I was like, "You gotta finish that?" I was like, "Yeah, might as well. I don't have anything else to do." It's like, okay, well, fine. Enjoy it. Let me know how it did, and then how it ends. And then so she finishes it, and she tells me it was not great, but it wasn't bad. It was funny. I think you would have been okay with it. And that she started working with me towards. I was like, I'm halfway through the story
Jesus.
already. Like, how bad could this be? It's like, honey, you mind if I put it again? She's like, yeah, that's fine. We'll watch it again. And we went ahead and we rewinded to the exact point where I stopped, and my wife rewatched it with me again. And we finished it that way. And then I was like, yeah, this probably wasn't worth it.
This was not worth going
But
through.
somehow I'm not offended. Like with other movies, I can tell you, no, this was fucking waste of time. Like, what the hell was Mad Dog thinking? No, I'm kidding. Like,
No,
like what
that's a
the hell?
literal verbatim
Sorry.
of what you just said to. What in the hell?
One movie only, and one only, maybe two. But this I would still say is bad, but I was not offended. If you ask me, I'll
I was offended by
probably
being in the
you were.
theater watching this, and
Oh, you
obviously
paid.
without the option of walking out. Although technically I had the option, I could have walked out, but we were in a group, right? It would have just be like, "Where the where's Naldo going?" It's
Where's
like
my
I'd
ride?
rather sit on the toilet for the next hour and a half. Thank you. I'll see you guys outside. Yeah, I did.
I can't, but that's awesome that you watched
Yeah.
it because then, well, then I can tell you about the things that I did find, funny, which weren't that many, and you're probably not gonna care. You probably know which ones they are
There are
already.
few
So
that I'm sure were on the trailer.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh, these ones were not on the trailer, but uh, mostly the cameos. Anyway, uh, I'm gonna give it a two. I'm gonna give it two because
It's generous.
it's yeah, it's a little bit generous, but I don't, I didn't feel offended. Like I said, when I finished it, it was like I'm not gonna recommend this to anybody that needs to watch it, but if somebody wants to watch it, like I'm not gonna stop them. I'm not gonna, it's
I'm
like
not gonna warn them
I'm not gonna
about
warn.
the 2 hours they're about to lose of their life.
It is. That was another thing. It's movie's 2 hours. It's like what the hell, man? What the actual
What the
hell?
hell, man? What was the other thing you saw? Because now I'm curious. You led with this. I'm like, where can you possibly go from here?
Oh my goodness. No, don't worry. You're gonna be very happy with this one. You know already what I saw. It's called Memento.
Oh, yes. Actually, I
Hey, you
forgot that you
happy
saw that.
now?
Yeah,
You
I forgot.
happy now?
Yes, I am happy. Damn it. That is,
I
we're
watched
joking. We
did
were
it for
joking
you.
about something before, and I was like, essential. I was like, I think we're talking about fucking Watchmen, and I was like, oh no, that's definitely not essential. Memento is essential, sir, especially for Christopher Nolan filmography. It is essential. So go ahead, sir. What you thought?
So I liked it. I liked it. My wife did not. Uh
Was it because of the time thing again?
it, it's the Christopher Nolan thing where it gets confusing. Also, we were kind of watching it kind of late, and at the same time, I think I was a little retaliatory with it because what really happened was what actually happened. The true story is that I offer I offer her to watch another movie with her, and she was happy, and I was like, "Let's go watch Encanto." And I make sure she understands. Hey, it's a Disney movie. No, it's gonna have it's a Disney movie. It's a musical. They're gonna sing. They have songs. My wife doesn't like musicals. Make sure she knows before we started because, well, I just want to prepare her, and I wanted to see it because you spoke so highly of it, last time, and I was genuinely curious. So I put it not even 5 minutes into the movie. The thing is when the character is putting her chancletas, and she immediately goes like, "Is this is this a musical?" I was like, "Okay, I'm stopping it there, like immediately. Like I'm not even fucking. We're not watching Encanto, I guess." Like I just stop and I just go in and I look for, okay, well, let me see what else is there to watch. And I remember that you spoke to me about Memento, and then I read about it, and it says a man with short-term memory loss attempts to track down his wife's murderer. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, that's a movie that sounds close to what Encanto would have been, like the experience of it. So let's watch that instead. Then here we go, and that's what we sat and watched. And to be honest with you, I did not hate it. I think like I don't and it's fair. This is a movie that is from 2000. It's a movie of its time. For me, I recognize that it's not fair for me to say, "Oh, I don't think this is particularly one of the best from Christopher Nolan." Um, But then again, I have no taste, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say that anyway.
No, I mean that's
It's-
fine. I mean,
I don't think it's
you're
it's
watching
like
it at a specific time when you've seen other really great Christopher Nolan
right,
films. So
right.
obviously you have, you know, you already have his more recent stuff, which are amazing. And this is before he became what he is now. You know, where
Mhm.
he can spend God knows how much millions of dollars and make an almost 3 hour long movie about, you know, rewinding time and still, you know, make it impossible for you to hear what the characters are saying because of the bombastic music, and does this on purpose. And he still, you know, he still gets the green light on all these things, you know. So yeah,
And he's still getting the great. No, exactly,
yeah.
exactly. And to be fair, I mean, look. Oh, now that I'm looking at the poster of it, I'm at the poster of Memento. I'm wondering, like, hey, I wonder if that's where he got the idea for Inception. Because it's kind of like a photograph within a photograph within a photograph.
Hmm.
But I like the story, the story, and I've also I like the way that it was, that it was delivered.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of the motivations were kind of like ridiculous and out there, and like, well, why would a person actually do this? Even suffering this condition, which his condition is, hey, he literally suffers from short term memory loss. He can probably retain a few minutes of whatever is happening in the present, and then it's just disappeared, and that's gotta be like horrible, abominable. That's gotta be like terrible, a terrible condition to live with. He wasn't born with it. He was attacked, and that's how he ended up getting it.
Yeah.
You end up finding a lot of these things as the movie happens, because um the movie does this. I don't know. It's telling how it works. Consider a spoiler.
So first off,
Is
this
it
is,
spoilery? Oh, it's
and
also a
this is
movie
an
from the year
older film.
2000.
Yeah,
Is it
this
an old?
is a significantly older film,
Which is okay.
and it's already been known as being the film that gets told backwards.
They
You
get
know what I
told
mean?
back.
So,
Okay,
yeah,
exactly. That's gonna be. I was gonna say that the way that it's telling the movie is that it you know it it starts with an event, and you're like, oh, what the fuck, and then little by little it starts going back to that event, but giving you a little bit more, and then it give you it might not go exactly to all the way to the event again, because it's not a 10-hour movie, but it at least gives you bits and pieces up to ev- up to where the previous event left off. Let's say, like I said, telling the movie kind of like backwards, so to speak,
mhm.
and at the same time, it has this monologue where that he uses, very noir kind of, where he is uh where he basically just did just describing to himself, but obviously making it so that the audience is aware of what's going through his head, how he feels, or there's some scenes where it's supposed to be like the present, and they're made in black and white for some reason.
Yeah, and that's going
And
forward. Yeah, in time.
that's yeah, yeah, exactly, because it's almost like between telling you the movie backwards, the movie breaks into like some portions where, oh, this is actually the events going forward.
I should.
Uh,
I'll have to send you a video of Christopher Nolan explaining his thing. It's almost like he laid out the movie,
mhm.
right, and then he snipped, like, cut it in the middle so it's chopped up, spread them out, and then the black and white sections he did the same thing and fit it in between them. It's such a weird video where he kind of explains how and why he did it. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Awesome cast. Guy Pearce, Carrie Ann Moss, uh, Joe Pantoliano,
Hmm.
and others. I'm gonna say this movie was 3.5 for me.
Nice.
and definitely one that you want to watch. Not you, man, because you already seen it. You are the one that
Oh, I'm gonna watch it again. The fact that you saw it and then we're talking about it makes me want to watch it again. And by the way, I still feel it's one of Nolan's best. So this is before the bombastic music and everything.
No, exactly. No, and to be fair, I can see I can see why. It's one of those movies that at first I was like, that movie was okay. And then, but it sticks with you. And then the more you think about it, you realize, okay, well, this is the genius. It actually has you thinking about it. And the more you think about it, the more you appreciate, what was done with it. And especially I can imagine, back in the day, maybe not a lot of movies going like that. We hadn't had Inception. No, yeah, well, of course we didn't have Inception. We didn't have Inception until like the 2010s. So there wasn't like that type of movie. It was kind of like crazy out there playing with with time and
Time. That's his thing. Nolan is not shy about being obsessed with time. Just thinking of Inception, thinking of the movie he did about the war. I don't know if you've seen that one, but it was a World War One film. I'm trying to think of the fucking name now. It's not coming to mind.
Dunkirk?
Huh?
Dunkirk.
Thank you. That one's also told. Like it also plays with time. The way when it's telling the story, like there's just 3 different timelines and they all kind of meet to one point. It's really well done. He just, I don't know. It's just something about it that he and oh, by the way, so is Tenet, which literally, you know what I mean? Rewinding time.
Yeah. Tenet was usually, it was almost like the next level. It's like,
what is the evolution
the story? We can show it actually happening.
Exactly.
Fucking Tenet. Wow. I still need to watch that movie again just so that I can get,
yeah, I definitely recommend that because I've seen it a few times and each time it's just there's more understanding. There's more reveals and more things that you suddenly start putting together and sort of formulating your own thing because he doesn't answer all questions and it's just that's not his style. But yeah, it's a good stuff.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, that is all that I have been doing.
All right.
How amazing that I can actually stretch it out, even though play 2 games and 2 movies.
It is amazing, sir, but I love it all the same.
This is the most important part now. I need to hear what you have been doing, sir.
So real quick, I'm gonna preface this first by going what I was playing basically over the weekend, last weekend, and that is I played Blasphemous and I got to a certain point. I was like, oh, okay, I'm all right. This time I just kept going. And like I said before, because of Cyber Shadow and how fucking challenging that shit was, Blasphemous became much easier because now by, essentially the reaction skills are like
honed in.
So I'm just like, and I am, and to be fair, not that I wasn't digging Blasphemous before, it just wasn't capturing me. Getting further into it, it is really good, dude. Obviously it wears its what do you call it? Inspirations on a thing. A lot of people call it sort of a Souls-like, but it really isn't. One thing I realized, basically I'm at the end. I'm at the very last boss, and it's just I'm gonna still chip away at it, but I got a little sidetracked with something else. But man, this is a really good game. Visually amazing, awesome, freaking graphics. It's what I mean to say it's not very Dark Souls because I'm realizing you get a bunch of stuff that you collect at the beginning and all that, and these and these abilities and all that, but none of that shit matters. You can literally play the game and never get any of those and still win because it's just understanding the pattern and you know what I mean. It's like it seems daunting at first, and then suddenly it clicks, and then now the fucking boss is just a pushover. I was like, man, once it was one that was really like motherfucker. motherfucker. It was just like yelling and screaming, and then it clicked. I literally, well, actually, I put the controller down. It's like, you know what? And I turned it off. Went to help my wife with some stuff, whatever. Then of course I came back. I was like, okay, let me just do that. Boom, like it just saw the pattern. Like I just like Neo, just seeing
You saw the
the
code.
the code, and it just suddenly it was just like, whoa! I just handed it this boss's ass after being creamed for a bit. Uh,
Was it
and
something? Was it that? Was it a pattern that you didn't see before that you immediately got? And or
yeah,
was it?
yeah, it's exactly what it was. It was. I mean, pattern in the sense that you understand the attacks that's coming at you, and
Uh,
you understand what you need. You understand where you need to
mm,
stand. You need to understand. You understand when to jump, when to leap over something, when to to slide under something,
yeah.
or because you have like a sort of a roll dodge. Um, Trick to the roll dodge is that's something this is obtuse also in the sense that it doesn't explain a lot of stuff. The roll dodge doesn't let you roll through anything. You can only roll through attacks. So if a
Okay.
character is attacking you, then you can roll past through them. There's certain characters, small character, you could just kind of slide by at any point, but major characters and bosses, it was like one of the things. Why can't I roll past them? I don't understand. It's like, oh, I have to wait for him to try to hit me, and then that's when you roll past him. So little things like that, where again it doesn't tell you, but once you get it, it's like, whoa, this is really really good. The story is really, I mean, this can be compared to Dark Souls. Just it's
Yeah.
you are a crusader essentially who's destined to bring back the miracle, to take the thing of the miracle. And the miracle is like this event that happened, and so it's a very Spanish Catholic, is really what it is,
Yeah.
but really to the point of like just oddities. You know what I mean? It's like some of the creatures even look like they're just all in pain. You know what I mean? Even the NPCs, and it's on purpose because they're all trying to to give forgiveness, you know what I mean, for their guilt and all this stuff. It's like, but it's really cool. Anyway, I just wanted to touch base on Blasphemous because I did leave it there, and I still plan to go back. Because I want to see the end. I want to see what happens, and I know Blasphemous 2 is coming. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I kind of really want to check that out. I realized that I do have some DLCs that because it just came with all the DLCs. I don't know if I don't think I paid anything extra for it, but it's all in there. I ran into what's her name? Oh my god, from Ritual of the Night. Bloodstain? Miriam. Miriam. I
Oh,
ran into Miriam in the game.
really?
Yeah, because there was like
That's
a crossover event. I went to a
okay.
weird
That's
area, and in the area, all in the background is like this long hallway, and it has like these stained glass windows. And I came to this mirror, and the mirror's broken, and Miriam's standing there, and it has this little quick cutscene. And she's asking for help to find these fragments and put together the glass that so she can go back to where she came from.
that's awesome.
Yeah. And so there's these levels that are in certain areas
Fucking
where
hell. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Because I
the,
just remembered something, but go ahead.
there's these her area where her fragments are these areas that you basically have to speed through. So you have like a specific time frame to just kind of, you don't have to, I mean, I haven't have to fault anything. You could just kind of run by everything. You're just trying to get to the end, and then you get the fragment, and that puts another piece back of the mirror. I haven't completed that because I only found one space, and really it's the first one she showed me. But it's cool to see there, and I had to look it up. I was like, why is she here? You know what I mean? And I looked at, oh, it was a crossover DLC. It's like, oh, okay. And so and of course there's other DLC, but apparently I guess I have to go off the beaten path to find these DLC because I only ran into her, and it was
Oh,
really by accident. I hadn't ran
oh.
anything else, and all the DLCs are all already in game. You know what I mean? So
Well,
it's not.
they were doing that with other games also because Dead Cells had the same thing
Yeah,
where other
yeah.
characters were, and I haven't played Dead Cells in a while to see, but That's kind of cool,
Yeah. It
another
was
game.
really cool to see it because it has, it's. I actually posted a video of it. Believe it or not, it's on our
Oh, I
YouTube
want to see
channel,
that. Okay.
where you see him meet her for the first time, and then you just kind of see it play out as to what it is that you have to do.
Yeah,
And anyway,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, it is really cool. It's really cool. So anyway, Blasphemous. We'll get back to that. However, I did jump on a recent release game that has been
Uh,
making some circles, and receiving some interesting reviews, um everywhere from between this game is okay to this is game of the year material. You know what I mean? I've heard and seen it all, not all, but you know what I mean, just variations of those things. And this is a game, of course, a game by Slow Clap, called Sifu. Slow Clap,
seafood,
as we
seafood.
mentioned, seafood, yes.
Seafood.
As we mentioned in our last podcast, Slow Clap is the makers of Absolver, which was an online multiplayer fighting game, essentially, which I played for a little bit. And being online and multiplayer and all that, it wasn't, just didn't really catch my eye for too long.
Mm.
But I did play it a little bit. So this was like a natural evolution of what they're trying to kind of do there. But this is a single player story, and story maybe using a little too much on story, because the story is very simple. It's a revenge story. We've all seen these done already in plenty of martial arts films in our lives. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Nothing really new here. The main character's father gets killed, which was or Sifu gets killed. I mean, I feel like it is the father, but anyway, um, and he's on he or she, because you can also make the character female, is on,
Really?
yeah,
I didn't.
on a warpath to take down the crew who did it. And the game starts really interesting because you start off as playing said crew, and then the main game starts, and obviously that or beginning section is meant sort of as a tutorial, but it's just oozing with cool. It literally feels like a martial arts movie. Um, I am really enjoying this game, sir. you know,
Really?
yeah, I wasn't sure, and I don't even know why I jumped. Honestly, because I jumped because it was only $39.99, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. You know what I mean? What can it how bad can it be, especially when you have many folks saying that it is good.
Yeah.
I It is challenging. It requires you to learn. But when you do, oh my god, it feels so good to take out a room full of people. You know what I mean? With just martial arts and grabbing a stick and throwing it at this person and leaping over the table and quickly taking down this person. And
So
it's just
it's not mindless butt matching.
no. Everything is on purpose. But button mashing is not going to work. I'm gonna tell you right now. Button mashing will You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it far at all. And it teaches you gradually. You know what I mean? It's one of those things like so. What I can tell is that there are 5 stages, and the character sort of puts together like clues as to where to find the next person. And so he has like this wall of clues that you can always access at any point. And every clue you unlock is permanently unlocked on that board, regardless of what happens. Um, Now, I really should probably just go into how the game plays, because it is very unique, and it doesn't explain stuff, which is, to me, is one of those things that you figure out as you go, and I'm okay with it. But it can be frustrating if for some folks, and I feel like that's some of the complaints, is that it doesn't explain much, I mean, it does explain a lot, but there's just certain systems you don't get, or it just doesn't make sense because it's so new, such a new different system. So the first one is and there are story reasons why this happens, which is actually pretty cool. I didn't know that. But basically, as you're playing through the game, when you get killed, you have the ability to resurrect yourself, but you age. So you have two things going on at each time. One is your age, which is always moving forward, does not move back, unless you completely die out, and then you start over. And then you have your death counter. Your death counter is a number that every time you die, the number goes up. So your first death is going to be a 1. You age 1 year. Your second death, if you haven't done anything to lower your death counter, it will move to 2, and now you age 2 years on resurrection. And that number is constantly going up. Now you have ways in game of reducing the counter so that it obviously ideally you don't want to die, but ideally when you do die, you want to age as little as possible, because by the time you get to 70 and above, you are on your last leg. You know what I mean? And at that point, what's that?
No, go ahead, because I was going to ask you a question, but I think you're going to answer it.
So at that point, you basically you start. When you die at that point, there's no resurrection. You start over. Now, I thought that it would be much more drastic in the sense that you would have to always do this from the beginning. So if you're in the last stage, which by the way looks like there's 5 stages total, you're in the last stage and you die, then you're starting all the way back at the very, very beginning. And so far, it appears that that's not the case, in the sense that you can start at the very beginning if you want to do this full run through it. But it seems to save your age that you've gone into the next stage. So for example, the very first time I beat the first level boss, and I made it into the next target, essentially, I was like 65 years old. 65. I was 65 years old. Yeah. So that run pretty much took most of my life in it. So obviously it didn't last very long in the in the second area, which is called the club. But it's stamped 65 there. So I can either go back to the beginning and start at 20 again, or if I want to just go into the club, can go to the club, but I will always start at 65. You know what I mean? So what you're doing is improving your runs in the first one so that you can get out of that area at the lowest possible age, so that your next stage, you're starting at a much better point. And now you can, start working on how to get through it. There are shortcuts in each area. Shortcuts have their pluses and minuses, right? Because you're also gaining experience, and that experience allows you to unlock special moves and stuff like that. That if you go through a shortcut, you're not going to gain that much experience, because it'll take you right to the boss.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Before I forget, and I'm going to get closer to the mic.
Thank you.
Shit. So what is the first off? Do you get any penalty for fighting so old?
You do. Every 10 years. So you start at 20. The moment you hit 30, the moment you hit 40 or 41, whatever, the moment you cross that threshold, your character health goes down. So their full health is going to be a smaller bar. Not by much when you're 30, not by much when you're 40, but when you're 50, 60, and 70, it's smaller. However, your character also gets stronger, because they are it's considered they're a much stronger fighter at that point. Right. So your hits hurt harder. So everything you do is knocking enemies harder.
That's cool.
Yeah. So everything here is a balance. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I just that the main question was going to be, so being that he has that, if he stamps your level as 60 as 65, let's say, is it feasible to just continue and possibly even beat the game at that age? Should you just choose to play that older character, or does it reaches a game over screen? You can't be past 80 or some shit like that.
Well, yeah. So if you get knocked out at 70, at that point it says it's over. You have to either start from the very beginning or start the level you were just at whatever best age you made it at. So again, I made it so I played the first area the very first time, beat it. I was an old man getting into the second stage.
Into the second stage, you were
Into the,
already. Damn, this game is hard. Then
it's really
I'm not
hardcore.
even gonna consider it.
But I have improved significantly in the first one, to the point where I was able, just last night, by the way, I was up till 3:30 in the morning playing this, because that's how.
Damn.
Yes, it's brutal and challenging, but it's so fun. And I don't know how to explain that so that it makes sense. Because I still get pissed when I get knocked out, because it's like, fuck, I'm losing another year or another two, depending on my counter. But at the same time, I go back in and I'm just like, fine. And now I'm unlocking stuff and just,
We
basically.
already know that you're sort of a masochist already, so
Sure.
you like this type of pain.
I still stand by that. It's a weird thing to say, but anyway, my point is that last night I was able to, on the first level, complete it, take the first boss out at 23. So I'm now that's stamped into my level 2. So at any point I could just start level 2 and instead of going back to the beginning, and I'll always start at 23, which is only 3 years in. And that's great. So that's how you move. Now I can focus on making it through the area of level 2, and then I just got to the level 2 boss, and I was kind of figuring out how to go through there. Movements are very, there's parries, there's dodges, and there is well, that's it, just parries and then blocking, right? So you can actually block, but it's constantly chipping away at your what do they call it? The stance, or whatever the meter is at the bottom. Very similar to Sekiro. And you can
Okay.
yeah, you can parry, and if you parry, then it doesn't chip away at that, and obviously you're parrying them, so it kind of knocks them, and now you can kind of counter at that point. Or you can just like dodge, and you see your character just kind of do really fast, like you just go to hit him, and it literally just flies over his head because he just ducked real quick, or move off to the side, and there's a way of controlling him where it's just weird. You hold down the L1, and now he's standing, and anything your way, you with the left stick, you're right. If you're wanting to avoid the left, you go to the right, and he moves to the right, or duck, or if you come in with a sweep, you press up, and he kind of hops real quick. And you got to be able to balance that, right? Because you can't just stand still the whole time. But if you're one-on-one with somebody, that's usually the best way to do it. The rest of the time, you're keeping distance when you're with groups. You know what I mean? You don't want to get surrounded. It does not. This is not a Batman Arkham Asylum where every thug just kind of waits their turn before while you're messing around with one person.
Oh, they just jump in.
No, there's no stopping. They will jump in. So you have to maneuver yourself. And you can obviously block. Like I can be in the middle of hitting one person here, and this person is about to come my way, and I can quickly hit back and parry him or block it. So it just looks like a flow of a fight. You know what I mean? When you do it right, and it just comes out like, yeah, you know what I mean? It just feels really good. But again, you have to be moving around. So there is one, probably the one major issue that it has. And I say major, not in the sense that it's constantly happening, but when it does, it can annoy. And that is the camera. When you're in a specific area and you're backed up into a wall, you know what I mean? The camera at a specific angle can throw things off a little bit. Again, it doesn't happen all the time, but it can lead to what can feel like a cheap death. And also because of that, enemies have weapons and they can throw things at you. And if you don't have them all within your view, there's occasions where a bottle just comes out of nowhere and just knocks you in the forehead.
You don't see it coming.
Yeah, because it came off screen. You know what I mean? So, and there's no indicator, right? Because sometimes in a lot of these games, there's an indicator that says something's about to happen off screen that you can't see. Nope, that's not here. There's no indicator. You just have to know where the bottles are, and when you see someone moving towards it, react to it, or pick it up and throw it at them. You know what I mean? So that they're already broken and they can't
play on a wide screen, on an ultra wide,
or if there's an ultra wide, that probably, I guess, maybe helps in that way. But anyway, yeah. So those are the only two, or the only real thing I can say that is an annoyance. But again, there's ways to play through that, in the sense, like I said, I know this is. It sounds like a roguelite, but nothing is procedurally generated. Everything is always in the same spot. So because of that, you can say, I know where that bottle is. I know where this person is. He always picks it up. So I'm going after his ass first. You know what I mean? Or when I get into that room, I'm throwing my knife or stick or whatever at him. So he doesn't fucking grab that. You know what I mean? Or you could just dodge it. And there's moves that you can unlock for you to like they throw it at you and you could just catch it, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so now the unlocks. A lot of the roguelikes, right? You have this thing where everything you've gained along the way is gone. That's still technically here, but there are ways of permanently unlocking them. So there's the specific. I stuck with like a couple of the ones that I wanted to do first, and one of them is environmental combat. So if there is a bag on the floor or a chair or anything like that, I can literally kick it. If there's a group of you, I can kick it, and he'll kick it right to the first person there. That's a special move you have to unlock. So it's like 500 experience points to unlock it. And if you just unlock it once, then you can use it for the run. But if you put more experience into it and you get to a certain amount, it will unlock permanently and you don't have to ever, it's always going to be part of your repertoire. Okay. So yeah, so you have a lot of that, a lot of those moves. And you also have like special focus moves that slow down time. You could just bloop, like eye gouge someone or sweep someone, and so all those things are there. The tools are there, but the basic combat is really what is important to learn, and it takes a little bit to master. But I just love it, dude. I don't know what it is. It's the fighting of it. And it frustrates me. I'm not gonna lie. When last night again, 3:30 in the morning, bro, I'm like, I gotta go to work. What am I still doing here? But I was just that engaged with it, dude. The music is great. The visuals actually really, really good. In its animated almost what do they call that? A water paint almost looking, but it's beautiful. The music, I said, it's dynamic, right? It changes with what's going on, which adds a layer of a flair, right? Like you go into a room and it's like that has that quiet little whatever. And the moment you go in, it starts this little beat and it goes with you.
It's about to go down.
Yeah, shit's about to go down. Yeah, exactly. And like I said, it knows what it is, and I think that's what I like the most about it. It is your evolution of your beat 'em up, right? Beat 'em ups used to be a big thing back in the day. While some of them still exist nowadays, they don't. Games have evolved to the point where, well, I can play that. Like the Streets of Rage, right? The most recent Streets of Rage is probably one of the best beat 'em ups of its time, and you had a remake or not a remake, but a new chapter in it. But it's the same thing, right? This is essentially that. You know what I mean? And that's all it is. There's a story, sure, but it's all about the fight. It's all you're doing in this. You know what I mean? And so it's a beat 'em up. And the way it's done, it's the natural evolution. And I think that's what I like the most about it, right? Because roguelites in general, I've said many times, I don't like roguelites. I don't like to have to lose everything. Whatever. And then suddenly, roguelites evolved and they became something different. Where Hades is like the number one game of the year. Freaking Returnal was my game of last year, and that was my first roguelite that I actually beat. You know what I mean? And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the entire experience because it evolved. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's what I think Slow Clap has unlocked here, and I think credit definitely should go to them because they are reinventing that genre. There's and now the lines move. Right. So the next time somebody does a beat 'em up, it's like, yeah, you better do this. You better do something as good as this. Otherwise, you've just wasted everybody's time. And I gotta give credit where credit. I love stuff like that. That just makes the old feel new. And does it awesomely. Like I said, there's just so many awesome. Oh, I love this moment, especially the takedowns. Oh, do I love doing takedowns, and just because the way the camera pans close to them and he just and like, woo, it just like feels good. And so, yeah, I mean, I can talk forever, but I want to talk about.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling that so far? Is this something that do you see yourself beating maybe in the next couple of days, or do you feel like
I don't know the next couple of days, but I honestly, it's what I want to play. It's really what I want to play. I don't want to. I don't want. That's why, and I feel bad for Blasphemous. You know what I mean? It's not that I wasn't enjoying Blasphemous, but and I got this and still kept playing Blasphemous. It was actually downloaded. Believe it or not, I got it early. It was supposed to come out on Tuesday. I got it on Sunday, and I was downloaded, and I hit start on it by accident, and it took me into the game. I was like, oh shit,
Oh shit!
I can actually play this now. But I was
I
like, no,
guess
no,
this
no,
is
no, I'm gonna play
happening.
Blasphemous. Yeah, huh?
I guess this is happening. You say.
Yeah, well, no, I said no, no, no. I'm gonna play basketball because if not, I feel like I'm gonna lose whatever. And then I just couldn't, bro. Then I just said I was playing basketball on Tuesday, and I was like, okay, let me just jump into some seafood. And by the way, I actually did some share play with Dark, and he loves it. He's getting it the moment he can, and I don't blame him. He obviously this is right up his alley when it comes to fighting games and stuff like that. So,
Yep.
but.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I want to continue, and like I said, the way the way the games sort of shows you how to go. Every time I go in, I'm moving the line further. There's progress. Sure, I have to start back at the beginning when I turn 75 and I die, but it doesn't matter because I know where I need to go now, and you're collecting things along the way that allow you when you go back in. Now you're opening doors you couldn't open before because those items you keep. And so now, like I said, now that I know where that boss is, okay, well, now I'm gonna go back in, open some doors. Maybe I can get to him faster and figure him out because that's the other thing. Getting to him is one thing. Getting to him and beating him is another. It's like you have to. They all fight very differently, and he has this just different way of fighting where I have to use the dodge more as opposed to the parry. And you really just don't want to get hit by it because he can break through blocks and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, I need to, move quickly around him. And so I'm like, okay, again, I was figuring it out as you go, but by the time I got to him, I was already at like 68 or something like that. So like, okay, well, let's just feel him out, see what I can get, you know what I mean? See what I can pick up here. And but yeah, man. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about it because I can continue on. I'm just, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. And by the way, I'm not saying this is a 5. You know what I'm saying? But this is definitely easily a 4, because it has its issues. But man, the fun factor is like through the roof. And again, only if you find that fun, right? Because some people are looking at this and go, "This is challenging." This is not easy, and you have to be okay with learning. You know what I mean? But it's, how do I say? It's fun learning, because you're
okay
literally knocking heads as you're learning. You know what I mean?
I'm okay with learning. I'm not okay with starting all over from levels that I've already seen and played.
Yeah, and the levels aren't very long. I think you could, if I were to do like a perfect run, you can probably finish the game within like an hour and a half. You know what I mean? In one straight run or something like that. Maybe that's even too much. It could probably be done in an hour or something like that because the areas are not very big, and especially if you're flying through the shortcuts. The areas is not very big at all. Even the long way is not very big, and so I can see maybe an hour. Yeah, but again, I'm only in 2. I don't no idea what 3, 4, and 5 look like. So just based on those first 2. And the fact that the type of game it is, you know what I mean? It's smart games like this don't make it so that it's so fucking long, But anyway, and the last thing I just want to talk about is what I watched. My wife and I, we finished season 1 of The Expanse. Yes, we did.
Oh shit! Hold on. Let me brace myself for all the expletives that are gonna come my way now.
Wow.
Hurt, isn't it?
So first off, I'm going to start off with I like it. My wife likes it, and we are intrigued, particularly with what's going on. I will say that so in season 1, I don't know how season 2, 3, 4, but season 1 there are 3 storylines happening. You have one that's happening sort of in space, one's happening at a space station with a cop, and another one's happening out on Earth with some diplomat. The levels of interest differed between each story. What had me intriguing, had me, like really wanting to watch the next episode each and every time, was what was happening in space with Holden and Naomi, and those, and Amos, which I know Amos is kind of a jerk, but so far in season 1 anyway, I like Amos. I'm like every team needs an Amos. I get it. He's psychotic, but we all need one at some point or another. And
I want to tell you right now that I like Amos. My wife likes Amos. Everybody loves Amos.
okay,
That's a show in the future.
okay, that's fine.
Everybody loves Raymond. No, everybody
Yeah.
loves.
So but I was a little frustrated with some of Holden's like when I was like, dude, come on, chill out, bro. We need
Yeah.
somebody like that. He's thinking holistically here. You're more focused on I don't want any whatever. It's like, no, man, we're at war. This is Martian space, dude. Come on now, Anyway, that's me, But I was more engaged with their storyline than the other three. I thought those three. That's the next one would have been the diplomat. The diplomat was what's going on in Earth and everything that's happening in the background. It's like okay, it's kind of filling in what's up. And I kind of guessed some of her stuff, even though there was like revealed later. Like I figured that. The storyline that I was significantly frustrated with was the freaking cop, bro. Miller and whatever the hell had I was like. I didn't like his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend because apparently, obviously, they were together at some point or another. But I did not like her. I did not like what he was doing. It was just like what? Every time we went to
a girlfriend.
Well, there was a girlfriend. Well, I think again, he didn't have a girlfriend, but there was another female cop that you can tell that there was history there, Right. And I just didn't like anything about it. It's just like these every time they get, I was like, stop. And then he was obviously there's a mystery he's trying to figure out. And part of me is like, is he just doing this because he's bored, or is he just? And then apparently at some point he gets like really into it. And at that point I'm like, when did that happen? I feel like a switch happened somewhere, and somebody turned on the light switch, and I didn't see it happen. I'm like, suddenly he's obsessed, and he's constantly going back to the person's house and it's just like, I was just like, I'm done, but send me back to space with Holden. I just need to see what's going on, Holden. Until the end. And that's what I was telling my wife. I was like, if there's no payoff here for this freaking cop, I'm going to be very, very upset. And then the end happened. It's like, okay, all right, fine. It still was a trudge getting there for him, but okay. You know what I mean? I will allow it.
Miller had his hat. He was very 20th century almost.
I mean, I appreciated what he was when I first saw him, but his entire storyline, it wasn't moved. And I get it, right? Because the point was for them to, slight spoilers here. The storylines.
Major spoilers, so you might want to.
No, I'm not going to say what it is. I'm saying the storylines, interconnect at the end. You know what I mean?
Right.
So one had a lot of things going on, which is the space stuff. And he really didn't have that much. He had interesting stuff, but they were few and far between. But we can't just have an episode without him. So let's stretch out his stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, so and then when you get to the end, it's like, oh, I get it. They had to all connect at some point. So, so anyway, that's for the record. That's really a nitpick. Not really anything, not, game breaking or anything, not game breaking, you know what I mean? Not show breaking. I don't know. It's not a deal breaker. And so yeah, so that's why. But yeah, we did finish it, and we are going to continue. I don't know if we're switching up to something right now. I'm going to probably just throw on the next episode before any ideas come up to that.
You want to have it fresh in your mind.
Correct. Yeah, that's why. That's why I want to just continue. And it's
when they actually got the money, or start getting the money.
Well, yes. Well, I will say the special effects and everything were, for the most part, early on, very good. Just for that season, I was like, this looks and feels, and I see what you mean. It feels like sci-fi that, we exist. You know what I mean? It's like there's no light speed or anything like that. Everything is, yeah. It basically looks like
very scientific, like they respect the science part of science fiction. They kind of respect it. Like everything has an explanation of why does it work. Maybe not. Maybe they don't give it like very obviously, but it's stuff that is also not just fantastical bullshit. Like lightsabers because
lightsabers
are real, but transporters because
Yeah, exactly.
or
It really, yeah, it's basically mostly. I was telling my wife, I was like, if you really think about it, that's a lot of tech we have here. And she's, yeah, but look at the computer. I was like, that's basically an iPad. That's all that is an iPad attached to the whatever. You know what I mean? It's like,
the next
yeah, we
generation
have
is
all
like
that
where
already.
you just throw the image outside from that
Yeah,
in front of you. It's like,
exactly. We do that literally all the time. It's called freaking casting to your TV.
there you go, exactly.
It's like, yeah, we do it all the time.
Exactly. All we need to add when you think about it is just a gesture. That's all
Yeah,
we need to
that's
add.
it. And my phone picks up gestures. I just have it turned off, so I don't need it because I don't want to have that shit. But so I'm like, a lot of that stuff is already there. The only thing that's not is the whole colonizing of the planets or certain planets and stuff like that, which is not far away. If Elon Musk is to be believed, so, you know what I mean. But anyway, so yeah, we did enjoy it. I'll give probably the first season a 3.5. That's just for the season. Obviously, I'm not going any further on that. But I am interested in continuing to see what. Well, no spoilers on this, but just basically what the hell is going on in the end there. Because I'm not. I get what I get what was happening, but I just don't know the origins, and I guess that'll probably be explained more because they mentioned Phoebe Station a few times, and I was just like, are we ever going to see what happened there? Because I feel like that's an integral part of what's happening here. But anyway, there's 6 seasons, so I'm sure at some point it will fill in some blanks.
Yeah, it's only 6 seasons. It just makes me so happy to hear you say Holden and Naomi and and Amos and Alex. It's like it just fills me with joy.
Yeah. Amos was because, like I said, we because sometimes we do that. Sometimes we'll pause for a second because there's questions. You know what I mean? My wife has questions. I'm like, okay, I don't want to do it while the thing's going, so we'll pause and just kind of compare notes, if you will.
Yeah.
And then we'll keep it going. Because there's a blank that may be missing, and she's doing a lot of stuff usually because she's watching it while she's putting pills in bottles for my mother-in-law, something like that. So she maybe has to look away. So that's why I'm like, I'm like, sure, we'll stop. What questions? Okay, move on. And so, yeah, one of those was, I don't blame freaking Amos. That was literally, I don't blame Amos. I agree. Fuck him. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah. And she goes, yeah, me too. I was like, right. Yeah. I think every team needs an Amos. What the hell? We need somebody who has that quick trigger. You know what I mean? Because, again, spoilers here for season 1, but there's a thing that happens at the end, a specific thing that happens, and he's the first. He's already. I can see his eyes. He's already sees suspect around. Like, oh, Amos is going to do something here. He already sees something wrong, and I see something wrong. You know what I mean? Everybody else is just oblivious because fuck them. They're just sheep. Anyway.
I learned to really, really like enjoy all the characters. I'm always a big fan of the show. She did not like Holden. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like Holden's awesome. It's like, yeah. I think
Holden has his moments where I'm the same way, sir, and I'm just like. I'm like, why are we, because he has this concerned look all the time. And I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be a leader, bro. What the hell?
That's exactly what you said.
It's the truth. And that was
those puppy eyes. Yes. Like, what puppy eyes? What are you talking about?
Yes. It's like,
he has a lot of responsibility. Like a leader has a lot of responsibility. But
yeah, but a leader who has that responsibility, you know how you don't freak out your rest of your team? By not freaking out. That. You know what I mean? You need to be, yes, you should be freaking out inside because you're the leader, you control, but you don't need them to see that. You know what I mean? And that suddenly calls into question. No. So I agree.
Has that look, yes.
I agree. Where I'm just like, oh my god, like Holden did something or Amos did something, said something, and he goes, and then he gets in. I'm like, oh come on, man, just leave him be. You know what I mean? Just leave him be. So you got yourself a mad dog, if you will. You know what I mean? And he's obviously cool with you. You know what I mean? So just chill, and send him to sick him every so often on somebody. You know what I mean? And you'll be all right. Anyway, we're going over on time here. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. That's all I've been doing for the record. And we are back, guys. Real quick, we have a quick segment here. The Mouthful Games Radar, and two games that I want to highlight are coming out this week coming. First and
I'm
foremost,
sorry, but I already talked about Lost Ark, which is what you should be playing if you're on PC, evidently. Free to
yes,
play.
if you are stuck on PC and don't have anything
You're
else to play
stuck on PC,
or money, you can play Lost Ark,
if you're drowning
which came
on
out,
money.
which came out this week, by the way. I'm talking about next week. Dang it. First off, the King of Fighters 15 coming to PlayStation 5. Yes, that thing is still happening. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and yes, PC. You're welcome. February 17th. That is Thursday, if I recall correctly. Obviously, this has no direct competition with what comes out on Friday the 18th. Of course, that is Horizon Forbidden West.
That's next week?
That's next week, my friend. Next Friday.
Holy crap. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. The bombs are dropping, sir. The bombs are dropping. Yeah.
We're that closer to Elden Rings, finally.
I know, right? That's the first milestone.
For Horizon. It's just for Horizon, bro.
By the way, I think Gio had mentioned, that he thinks it's going to delay it. I would say at this late hour, if they delay it, they're going to fucking burn down Sony Studios somewhere. So, yeah, it's coming out hell or high water at this point. And regardless of what Elden Ring does to its potential sales, it's coming out. And so
I think they I honestly think they should. I mean, it's different. I mean, they don't really, let's be real. It's gonna have an effect, but it's not the effect that we're thinking it's gonna have. That it's gonna be like, oh shit, Titanfall 2,
honestly,
it's not that. It's not that.
I honestly don't think it was gonna. I personally didn't think it was gonna have an effect, but I understand his reasoning. Why he thinks he would, because it's like it is a major title, and I think they're two different camps. You know what I mean? I think that Horizon Zero, not that there's not crossover, you know what I mean? There is probably crossover, but I feel like the Horizon Zero Dawn camp and the Elden Ring camp are just two different ones.
No, but well, I'll say it this way. The Horizon Zero, the Elden Ring camp is definitely the Horizon camp also, but they're gonna pick Elden Ring for now because they're gonna play that one. For the most part, not everybody. Also, people might
I will be waiting. I will be Elden Ringing.
The Horizon camp is not necessarily the Elden Ring camp, though.
So okay, I see what you're saying. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't see.
If you're playing,
I don't know if I can 100% agree with that. But I mean, I guess if you're playing open world, which Elden Ring will be, open world RPGs.
I mean, if you're playing Elden Rings, you are in like this, like you take.
You should be into Horizon, right?
You should be into Horizon, exactly. But if you're playing Horizon, you don't necessarily. It doesn't necessarily make you an Elden Rings player because maybe you didn't like Dark Souls and
or Demon Souls or Bloodborne or just don't care for that kind of game.
You might bite into the hype. Also, it could happen. But yeah, I think it will have an effect. I just don't think it's gonna be like something major that it's enough to warrant switching the release date. They should, they should. I think that I don't see anything wrong with doing that, but it's because I don't understand also the logistics of it. There's probably a lot of things that could be that are wrong with delaying it as far as money, money wise. Like it could cost a whole lot to delay.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure there's always cost behind that. But yeah, those are the two games. A fun fact here, real quick: the first Horizon Zero Dawn hit 20 million sales, 20 million units sold.
And at least 2 million or 3 million of those, or how many on Steam? Steam had a few.
Oh, I would honestly, I would think probably close to half, because I mean, it was already maybe 10, 11 million units when it was on PlayStation. Yeah. So yeah, I would say, having it on PC, definitely open up the the floodgates for that particular game. So clearly a smart move to put it onto PC, even if you're holding on to it later. As a matter of fact, probably holding on to it later may even force certain people to double dip. Right, Mr. Santos? It's like, it's one of those things where like they probably know that we're gonna double dip. So that's why I don't think we may not see the day one's PC, because it's like, why? Let's put it on here. We got a reason for our console to for people to get our console.
Yeah.
And then in a few years we'll put it on PC, and we'll collect new folk, and your double dipping crowd.
Yeah. We'll play the definitive edition.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks to Nixus. Anyway, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, to our hot topic of the week.
Hot topic.
Once again, it is the Nintendo Direct. It's 2022 path or something like that. I feel like I screwed that up, but anyway, Nintendo Direct happened here. Actually, yesterday. That would be the 11th. No, it was on the 9th. It doesn't matter. It happened recently.
It happened this week.
And it happened this week. And yeah, we were able to check out a lot of what Nintendo is going to be bringing to the table for at least the beginning half of 2022. So I'm just gonna kind of go through the announcements.
Bayonetta 3, right. Don't disappoint me, right?
I have 30. Right? 30 of them. So it's got to be in there, right? It's got to be in there.
Imagine the Padme meme of Bayonetta 3 was announced, right? Right?
Wow. Oh God, it's amazing how we can actually quote memes now, and that's something.
Yes,
I tell you,
we can quote memes,
and that's something. All right, so starting with the announcements here. Just going to start from the top. It's actually in the order it was shown off. First and foremost was Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. This is a game coming out with a date, June 24th of 2022. Sir, I don't know if you saw the trailer, but this is a Musou. Fire Emblem's Musou style game. Yeah. How you feeling about that? You like those Musous, right? You like those joints? You're a Dynasty Warrior guy, no?
Oh God, don't say that out loud, please. I was curious, and I might have bought on what's it called again? Dragon. What's the name of the Musou that you're making fun of me for?
What did I say? Dragon Mart? No. Oh shit! I already forgot the name. Jesus. Yeah. I don't know. One of those games. Yeah. It's Dragon something, right? Dragon.
You have to remember. Anyway, it's you guys know the type of game. The ones where it's it's your character versus like hordes of enemy characters that you can literally take super easily with just pressing the A button. And
Dynasty Warriors.
There you go. Thank you. Yes. I made a mistake of getting Dynasty Warriors 8, I think, because I was curious, and to my shame, I actually did not hate it.
Why is it to your shame? That means that honestly, that justifies why this particular type of game exists, right?
Games, bro. They are just lazy. They don't bring, like, you will think that, okay, you're making a musou or whatever you call it, a mushu or whatever. You will expect that someone would have figured out maybe a way to change the formula a little bit so that you're still battling all those incredibly crazy hordes of characters, but maybe you're not just pressing the one button to do everything. And no, it's just as mindless. Like each one of them is as mindless as the previous one. So it's like, I'm not gonna get excited about an announcement for it, no matter whatever. Like they had a Zelda one. Like who cares?
And people people enjoyed it though. Yeah. They also have Strikers, right? No, right? Is that okay? Persona 5 Strikers. That was a Musou.
Persona 5 Strikes. Yeah, I guess that is. Yeah,
I think the difference there, what's probably missing from Dynasty Warriors. I know I have it. So, and that may be my first one. But well, I guess to try to defend Fire Emblem, because if there's one thing I've heard about Fire Emblem is the stories are great. So I don't know about Dynasty Warriors story. You have to tell me if it's yeah.
I mean, they're loosely basing it on characters from history, from I guess Chinese history, if I'm not mistaken. Please forgive me if I committed a horrible thing by saying that. Um,
It could be Japanese history.
no, I
It's
don't
a
think
Japanese game. It's not Japanese.
no,
Okay.
I think it's Chinese. I think. Um. Anyway, it's mostly forgettable. It's just some random nonsense just to have a bunch of characters.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
You do have different characters, but their attacks, you're doing the exact same thing, which is just watching wave after wave of soldiers just being getting juggled in the air. Um, while suffering little to no damage yourself because you're just a machine of destruction. And because it looks like that is very unrealistic. You can't even say, oh well, it's stylized, like wire fu movies, or you're meant to be so powerful that you can defeat whole armies of it. But when the armies act literally brain dead, they're not
Yeah. I
moving
mean, they just
sometimes, or they're just attack like in very certain patterns of very few enemies at the same time. Like there's no strategy. You're just button mashing, and at that point,
yeah.
like
It's a hack and slash. Is what I think. I know we call it Musou, but I think it technically is just a hack and slash. Yeah.
except we call hack and slash the games like Devil May Cry and Bayonetta and
Which has
right.
some strategy
You
behind it,
have
of
some,
course.
yeah. You got some reflexes and strategy. You got to know, learn how to dodge, and hell, I might even call uh uh God of War a hack and slash in a
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Especially the early ones. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is a hack and slash. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. So, all right. Well, Fire Emblem's Warrior, Three Hopes, Musou style.
I have no hope for this. Not even one
I,
hope.
I don't care either way. The next game they announced was Advance Wars 1 and 2, or 1 plus 2, Reboot Camp, which is coming out on April 8th, 2022. After that, we got treated to seeing that they're finally going to get No Man's Sky. So there, Hello Games is, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't even. I know there's no stopping. They took to heart very seriously all the insults that we just threw their way, and they are showing us. They are showing us now.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, they looked at every negative comment. Said, "Oh, we're gonna show you. We're gonna show you." Yeah,
yeah. You'll see. No Man's Sky is No Man's Game now. It's gonna be released on the Switch. Somehow, that game has so much content already, that it is cool. I was gonna say it's exciting. Maybe not for me personally because I have my experience of No Man's Sky, but people that haven't gotten it, it's a nice game to have on the road. It's a game that doesn't necessarily requires you to be on the entire time. You might get hooked and you might be on for a long time. I just hope that they can make it run decently.
Yeah, I agree because that's hardware is it's kind of old.
That's still mobile phone hardware, and at this day and age, not even like recent. So it's amazing what they're capable of doing. Don't get me wrong, but some ports they have been more misses than hits when it comes to ports. Let's say, but hey, they brought The Witcher 3.
They did,
so,
yeah, and they made it work. And Doom,
anything's possible,
and Doom Eternal, yeah. So you're right, anything is possible. Next one they showed off was an interesting one, and I feel like I kind of want to play this one. June 10th, 2022, Mario Strikers Battle League. This is a 5-on-5 uh, football, if you will, but actually soccer or football, if you're anywhere else in the world, competition. It looks really good. I mean, I'm not sure if you're into any of the Mario sports games.
Not particularly. Not a fan of sports games in general. Nothing against. I mean, I realize this, the Mario sport game, the Mario sports in general give them have their special quirkiness that makes them
Their appeal, yeah.
entertaining and easy to like a very easy barrier of entry.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's just
Not your jam.
it's a game that I would probably would have played if I had a if I had grown with a brother, or something like that, or with a gamer sister, which unfortunately my sister is not a gamer, so that's okay. I still love her.
That's I'm torn on this one because I find the Mario sports game to be. I particularly like Mario Golf, though I didn't get the last Mario Golf because it was so bare bones. But
Oh yeah,
I probably will get it once it gets all
a
a
good
good
one you
amount
would have
of.
gotten it. If it would have been a good one, you would have bought
Oh, I would have,
even if
yeah, because
even
I
if
love golf games. Yeah,
wow.
I would be down with this if it was for the fact that it kind of unless you're playing the computer, you kind of want to play with some people, and I don't got anybody to really to play with on this. So, but it's cool that
Let me
yeah,
know
it
and
is what it
I'll play with you, bro. I'll play with you. Come on.
is. Oh. Yeah. So, but yeah, it does look very good. So I'm happy that they're finally because I think people have been clamoring for another Strikers. I remember the last one may
That's
have been a
true.
while ago.
That
Yeah.
is a big series. Yeah.
Yeah. Next game they showed off was a new Salmon Run Next Wave, which is a update to Splatoon 3. It's a co-op mode coming out summer 2022. Not really into Splatoon, so I don't know if you have anything to share on that.
I recognize how big those games are and how their fan base, and I do recognize that they are good games. I haven't played them personally, but every time I see people playing them, and it does look like something that I would like to try.
Does
It's
look
just
fun for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
It does look
it
fun. Yeah.
looks really good. It's really good. Again, another one where I just need to get someone else say, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
let's play some Platoon." I'll be like, "Okay, I'm down." At that point, it's like, okay.
I hear you. Next announcement was a remake of Front Mission First. And then, of
What?
course, shortly thereafter,
Wait,
they announced that coming soon, the remake of Front Mission 2.
Front
um,
Mission.
Front Mission, the first one is going to be this summer, and they only listed as Front Mission 2 for the future, so we don't have a specific date on that.
Oh my god.
Not
Let
a.
me see.
Do you recall this is an old Square game, I think, and
I do, but not because I played it, but because I remember that there was a recent game that came out that was based on this world on the front. It was the
Front
front.
Mission.
Yeah, but it was not this typical. It was not this typical. I guess strategy is this like strategy, right? Type of
I
game,
honestly don't know. I
like
mean, I'm trying to think what the original even
it's
looked
role
like,
play
but
strategy. It's a role playing strategy game, basically. And
okay.
but they make this series. I guess they try to make it like almost like a Metal Gear Solid. So much so that even if you look at the cover art for it, I'm trying to remember
Mhm.
the name and I'm blanking out. But if you look at the cover of this game, like you could tell that the same artist that they used to make the Metal Gear Solid covers, it was the same person, the Japanese ones. It
Oh,
was the
gotcha,
same
gotcha.
person that that designed the covers, and they were going for that design. They were going for that look, and they wanted to make a game that was almost like that type of stealth game. So a lot of people were disappointed because they wanted that. That's not what this series is about. This series is about the strategy role playing game. So they didn't deliver that, and on top of that, the game was fucking terrible.
Oh wow.
It was so bad that I think it was featured on Re-Res at one point as to how bad the game was.
Oh, I'm looking at some images here of the original back from '95 when they were still SquareSoft. Yeah,
when they were
yeah.
still
This is a real time. No, a turn based strategy. With mechs, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, this is a remake. They didn't show any gameplay, so it's kind of concerning. Maybe a little bit, it's like coming out this summer and we don't even get to see gameplay, but okay. Sure.
Left Alive was the name of that of the game that I was just telling you about.
Oh,
Left Alive Front Mission. Left Alive. This can be right. It was not called Front Mission Solid. Get out of here. It was called First Alive Front Mission.
First Alive.
No, just First Alive. Sorry, it's just fucking Re-Res. It's trying to. They just put
trying to make a joke.
Front Mission Solid. Solid. Yeah, no, it was just called Left Alive. But you look at the cover art, and it looks exactly like, hey, this could be a Metal Gear game. And it was, I think it was a joke.
Okay.
So I'm glad to see that they're actually working on the, remaking the first ones, because those games were really good from what I heard. Those games were really, really good.
I recall them, but I don't like I said, I had to look it up to see it, but I do recall the name, but I never got into them. So, next one, sir, is Disney Speedstorm, which is basically a Mario Kart, or we can call it Disney Kart. Coming out this summer. Looks really good. Looks very much like Mario Kart. The only problem is that it's free to play, so we know it's going to be microtransactions all over the place.
Oh, hey, no, well, you know what? That's not bad, because I mean, you wouldn't want to. You're on the platform where Mario Kart exists, so you don't need to. If you're gonna make yourself,
you got to be. Yeah, you got to do something different.
You got to do something different, and this might actually makes perfect sense.
Have you seen it? Because it looks. I mean, it looks really good.
What is it called again? Disney.
It's called Disney Speedstorm. It looks really good. I mean, graphically, it may actually look better than
Mario Kart?
Mario Kart. Yeah, it may look.
It does look really good. You're right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks.
Not only that, but the sheer amount of IP that they could use for this, that they can leverage to make something cool, and oh hell yeah, they could do it if they execute on it properly, and the game doesn't have like any major glaring issues or anything like that, like, and you're making it free to play, like,
yeah, it is free to play.
Watch
coming
out.
This summer. Yeah, it may be something special. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Disney, right? Disney got money.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean,
we don't not all the money in the world can make their studios do a decent game for shit, but I'm just hoping that this is being developed by someone that knows what card games should feel like, and because that's the important thing. You nail that, and you have all the fucking IP that Disney owns. You could be making something really special, and something that you probably wouldn't want to just limit to the Switch, right?
I mean it's probably going to.
When you have something solid like this, hey, yeah, this looks really good, man.
Probably at first it could probably just be one of those time exclusive type things. So remember, Disney and Nintendo have similarities, if you will, when it comes to their particular industry. So that could be it. Could be a connection there. So.
I'll buy this on PlayStation 5. And it goes out if it's an 8 or higher.
You mean you will free to play this on PlayStation 5?
That's exactly what I meant. That's right. It's free to play.
I agree. I'd give it a shot. I'd give it a shot. Next, they showed off coming out April. Huh?
I said, I'll buy that for $1.
For $1. April 20th, 2022, Star Wars, The Force Unleashed.
What?
Coming to the Switch.
Wait, no. You're talking
Yeah.
about you're talking about a sequel. So
Nope.
Force Unleashed 3.
Nope.
No.
This is the first Force Unleashed, and I have, and of course,
The
there are
game
more
that,
motion controls. And
dear Lord.
if you look at it, I honestly, if you look at it, I've never played them, but I feel
I
like,
have. Or at least the first one I did to
yeah,
completion.
this is the first one, and I feel like the Switch is showing its age because it doesn't look very good.
No, it's not that. This is a game from 2007, bro. It was not meant. I mean, obviously they didn't
Okay,
touch it in
maybe that's what it is. Yeah,
any way.
no, they did not.
They just took the engine and was like, I wonder if we can make this run on the Switch. I bet we can make it very easily run on mobile phone system. And dude, it looks. Oh,
It doesn't look good.
no,
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
I mean, this game probably looked half decent maybe when it came out over 10 years ago. But no, what the hell? What is Force Unleashed?
I don't know. It's just this was one of the more random. Like, huh? Why are we doing this?
This is the definition of shovelware right here. Because I got good news.
Yeah.
I mean, I got news for you. The game wasn't even that great to begin with. All right. And that was with regular 360 controller. So I can't imagine.
Yeah, with move controllers.
What they're going to try to do here.
Not move. The Joy-Cons, yeah. I guess I forgot what it looked like because it just looked to me like, ooh, this looks bad. And then you just said the year. I'm like, okay, it probably looked bad then too. Yes. Anyway, next game they announced actually coming out also next week, February 17th, the Assassin's Creed, the Ezio collection.
Ezio collection, Jesus Christ, another old title from Life 4. Again, sorry, to clarify, as we have stated before, games do not get stale. Or we should say, if you're into it, there are gameplays that can get old. So that's
mechanics, absolutely, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But if you're a fan of it, like, it doesn't matter, but the Ezio collection, we're talking about Assassin's Creed, what, 1, 2, and 3?
2, 3, and 4.
2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, because the first one was it's the introduction, and the Ezio led the next 3. Well, actually, yeah, because it was Assassin's Creed 2, and then the other 2 didn't have numbers, but they were continuations. And Assassin's Creed 3 was the one that was here in America.
So there you go. This is more shovelware. It's just not giving it any respect.
I mean, I don't know. I never played this, but my understanding is of the originals, Assassin's Creed 2 is the best. Not since they revamped the series.
4 begs to differ, but what am I gonna be here defending the old Assassin's Creed game?
I have never played. I'm just saying a lot of people love the Ezio storyline, and I guess Black Flag was a good one too. But anyway, I can see that it's just kind of odd. Again, another odd choice.
It's a problem. It's just. They'll release it and they will expect you to pay $40 for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If not 60, shit, there's 3 games in there.
That's the problem. No, yeah, you're lucky because I mean, I will have to imagine that they will have the decency, because if they say 60 fucking dollars for Ezio, oh god,
that's what I'm saying. If not 60, because this is Nintendo. Yeah. I mean, it's not Nintendo first party, right? But you never know. You never know.
Sometimes you do.
Well, yeah. Next game they showed off was SD Gundam Battle Alliance. This is a chibi Gundam game. Huh?
I was wondering if you were going in order because I'm trying to follow the order with the actual with the actual
thing. Yeah. This is it looks like it's a Gundam game. SD Gundam Battle Alliance. That's the next one I have listed here. It looks like a almost a Lego version of Gundam. But
oh yeah, Chibi Gundam. I'm looking at it right now.
yeah.
What the hell?
So anyway,
Actually, believe it or not, there is I don't know if this is based on it, but there is a cartoon that has a Chibi Gundam. The cartoon itself
then
is
that's
Chibi
the
Gundam.
audience
So
they're going for, obviously.
yes, exactly. No
uh
doubt.
they no date, they just said it's coming out this year, and so look forward to that if you're interested.
That's the most that you get from Nintendo.
Yeah. Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition. This actually kind of caught my eye a little bit because I never played the Chrono Cross game, and it looks pretty decent for what do you call it? An RPG. Has a lot of
Mhm.
options as well, which I remember them mentioning, which you can turn off random encounters or stuff like that, so you don't have to go through that whole thing if you want to have
Mhm.
a much more streamlined version, if you will. This is coming out April 7th of this year.
Okay, so this is around the corner, and no doubt it just looks like Chrono Cross looked back then. So
Yeah.
again, almost no effort being put here into remastering or anything. Nope, it's just hey, you want to play instead of playing it on an emulator, you want to play Chrono Cross on Nintendo Switch and pay $40 for it. Here's your copy.
Here's your copy. Have at it.
Have at it. Yes.
Next game comes out March 25th. That is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This was actually a pretty extended, trailer, and it introduced the Mouthful mode. What?
The Mouthful mode. What is the
Yes.
Mouthful mode? Is that the one where he don't swallow?
When he
Because he didn't swallow the card that he showed him, sucking up a card by mistake, and he didn't
basically
swallow it.
now he becomes, or his body becomes what he inhales. So if he sucks up the car, now he can drive around. The Mouthful mode is what it's called.
The Mouthful. So yeah, so literally he doesn't swallow, so that he doesn't become the object. He can just use the object.
Use the object. You have the vending mouth. You have the car mouth. You have the cone mouth. You have, what's the other one? A couple different things that the scissor lift mouth. Anyway, just different things that Kirby can put into to inhale essentially, and instead of just spitting it out, he can use it. Anyway, looks looks like an interesting thing. It has, I think believe this is the first of the Kirby games that go into this 3D world, so looks pretty cool. Not sure if I'm gonna get it, but looks pretty cool.
No, maybe not. Maybe not you, and definitely not me. Or I shouldn't say definitely, because I recognize that Kirby games are, they're fun. They're fun titles. They've always been, and the whole mechanic of getting, like, I've always liked the mechanic in general of getting the powers that the enemies were using against you to using against them. I've always liked that. So
yeah,
and this, it looks like a very charming, very well done Nintendo title. So
this is first party right here, and
this up, like they will eat this up.
Absolutely,
they're super Kirby fans.
Next one was coming out on April 5th, 2022. MLB The Show. Yes.
Wow.
MLB has not, from a first party PlayStation studio, comes MLB The Show 22 for Nintendo. Not much to say here other than, it's going everywhere. Thanks to the MLB license.
This is good. This is a good series, and
it is
bringing it to a wider audience. Also, why not? Yeah, and it looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Next game they showed off, coming out February 10th, according to this. So that means it's already out. Kingdom Hearts Integrum Masterpiece for Cloud.
Let me guess. Is this some sort of because this is not a Kingdom Heart, another Kingdom Hearts, because people will flip their shit. This is probably a collection of all the Kingdom Heart games or some shit like that.
Correct, including 3.
Including 3. There you go.
Yeah, including 3, which is the most recent. And then, of course, this is the beauty. These are cloud versions because
because because the Switch can't
handle can't handle that shit.
You don't even you are buying access to play this game as long as you have an internet connection. Wow.
Yeah, a good one, right? That's the important part. Has to be a good one.
Wow.
The next thing they showed off was a game called Klonoa Fantasy Reverie, coming out on July 8th, 2022.
Oh shit, Klonoa. Yep.
I'm not familiar with this, but it looks like a 3D action platformer.
That was a PlayStation title. I want to say original PlayStation, if I'm not mistaken. Unless I'm horribly wrong.
I honestly, I'm not familiar with Klonoa. Yeah. I heard the name, but I'm not familiar with the series at all.
No, it's an RPG from Squaresoft.
Wait, this is an RPG? Because it looks like an action platformer to me.
A Klonoa? Oh, maybe you're. I mean, does it have RPG elements? Am I completely out of my element myself here?
I think so. You may want to look it up so you can see what it is.
Because it looks look it up on this thing, and
it looks like a Mario or like Kirby. We just saw. Yeah. Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series.
Oh yeah, this look. Oh yeah, what the hell? I was thinking of an RPG. What the hell RPG was I thinking?
I don't know.
Holy shit! I take it all back. I'm sorry. I honestly obviously don't know my Nintendo. So.
It's all good. Nintendo like does. Yeah, that's the one. I was trying to think of the name. I think of the name. I was like, there's a character I'm trying to remember. But
oh my god.
Anyway, so that's coming out in July. Next thing they showed off.
Also, Klonoa
is an interesting one, and I kind of want in on this, and that is, of course, Portal, the companion collection, coming this year. There's no date, just this year.
Oh,
yeah, I'm like, whoa,
you you've played both of them, right?
Both of them. Yeah, I have the first Portal. I have on PC, believe it or not. So that's where I played it.
Oh yes.
So I have it. Yeah, on PC, and then the second I played it on Steam, and then on the second one I had you lent me so I can play.
I did.
So, but I had you lent it to me.
I did. I own. Oh yeah, I guess I owned it.
Yeah, you had it on PlayStation 3.
That's right.
Yeah.
It came out exactly around the time that Sony had their hack.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So this includes Portal 1 and Portal 2, or Portal and Portal 2.
Mm.
So both are together in a series. Arguably, I think we've all said Portal 2 being probably one of the best games of all time. And in a collection, kind of down with that, sir. Kind of down with that.
Yeah. I mean, if I didn't own them already on Steam, I would jump on it. Hey,
as you can see, I've played them, but I don't technically. I have do own the first one, but the second one I did not.
I want to play the second one so bad again. Fuck it, I want to play both because the first one was short.
First one's pretty quick. Yeah, you can get through it pretty quick, and it's also very good. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just the second one. I fucking love that game. The story of it's fantastic. There's a meme of that freaking Jason creator. Of me and GLaDOS like lovey-dovey.
Oh yeah.
Or me saying sorry Mad Dog, I'm gonna let you finish, but I think that Portal 2 is the greatest game of all time, especially like that. It was hilarious. It's floating there somewhere on the group.
Yeah, I'm sure. Next game. Date July 22nd, called Live Alive, and this is an interesting one. It has that 2D 3D look to it, kind of similar to Triangle Strategy, but it looks nice, man. And apparently this is a game that came out in a JRPG. This is a Square Enix JRPG that is coming over to the West. And for the first time after 30 years, But obviously it does look like they've revamped it because it looks really really
Yeah,
cool.
this one they look like they actually it's a proper remaster. It's not
Mm-hmm.
the game that came out back then. And yeah,
No,
this looks
no.
really good. This
Right?
was
Yeah. This one caught my eye. I was like, ooh, I need to. The name is a little odd, Live Alive,
life alive.
but still, it looks pretty cool. And again, comes out July 22nd of this year. Next game comes out April 29th, 2022, and that is Nintendo Switch Sports. This is, of course, Nintendo going back to the well and the Wii Sports that that did so well, which did do well. I mean, like it or not. Honestly, sir, I am gonna get this, but I know why I'm gonna get this, and that's because we had the Wii,
For the
and my wife
party.
every so often we would like pull out the Wii, plug it in, and play some tennis because she liked playing it. And
Yeah,
we
look at that
recently
tennis.
sold our Wii, so we don't have the Wii anymore.
Oh, you don't have the Wii.
No.
Oh, so yeah, no, definitely, dude.
So yeah,
This is this is the remaster of that game.
yeah, yeah.
No, this looks awesome. The only thing
It
is that
includes new sports. You have soccer. You have some sort of joust. You can knock people off stuff.
Mhm, mhm.
You have volleyball, badminton. I don't know if you know what that is. And yeah, so you've got you got bowling back, and they're
Yeah,
going to
bowling looks
eventually
good.
bring golf as well, coming
Nice.
in the future. So yeah, April 29th. I caught. I saw it. And I was like, I kind of dig this. That was one of the few games my wife did play, and enjoyed. On top of that,
Yeah, it's
and
just the thing is that the thing that is missing is the actual joy of creating your own me and having the me be the character on the game. Like this just looked like the generic characters from like the Kinect sports game that they try to make. Remember
yeah,
that?
that's exactly what it looks like. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, at this point, they themselves have become characters. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it looks
uh,
cool.
it does. Yeah. Next game is Taiko no Tatsujin, the Rhythm
Ooh.
Festival. Sorry, this is a strange one. It's a musical game,
It's a
and it
musical.
doesn't. Yeah, yeah. Well, there you go. It's a musical. It's a music rhythm game that uses drums, I guess, and it has a lot of. It's about 76 songs. Does include Legend of Zelda theme and some other more recognizable songs. And
Somebody
not
made a
interested
mistake in
at
bringing
all.
this to the West.
Yeah, not interested at all in
Somebody
this one.
made a
But
mistake because this looks like nothing that anybody will be interested here. Now you watch the comments, people say, "Oh yeah, that looks awesome. I want
yeah,
to
I'm
play
sure.
Donkey Kong again without Donkey Kong."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this one is very strange, and I didn't know what to think about it as I was watching. I was like, "Wow, that's okay. That's happening. That's happening, guys. This year, no specific date. Next one, Triangle Strategy, date March 4th, which is less than a month away. This, of course, is the Square Enix game that, of course, is the follow up to Octopath Traveler. This, of course, is a turn based strategy game as opposed to just a standard RPG from back in the day. Also, very cool, very beautiful 2D mixed with 3D graphics. It just looks amazing. I don't know if I'll get into it because it is a strategy game, and I always found those, to just I don't know. They can become
they could drag unless you're really into the strategy.
exactly.
But the thing is, Octopath, man, I own that game, and that game looked amazing, but it wasn't amazing. So it's like he had all the look, but man, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you think about it, if this is a new team and that was their first outing, one thing we know is that's usually the test bed, if you will, and they bring improvements to their second one. So hopefully it can be. Again, comes out March 4th. Next game we've known for a while that comes out on June 30th. It's actually a downloadable update for Cuphead, the delicious last course. not much to say on that. We already know that that was coming, and
It
Cuphead is an awesome game.
is an
So
awesome game. You probably don't want to play it on the Switch.
I own it on the Switch. I own it on the Switch, and I own it on.
Oh, that's right,
What
because
else?
it never
And I
came.
own it on PC. I own it on.
Well, it came out to PlayStation eventually, right?
I did, but I already
That's
own
what
2
it was.
copies. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna do
yeah,
a
yeah.
third.
No, no,
You
no.
know?
That game's
Next
great
one
though.
was Yeah, it's a great game. Next one was a Metroid Dread free update, which is coming to. Well, there's an update that's coming now and an update coming in April. Actually, the update for it is two things. You'll have the Dread mode, which is the one hit kill mode, so really really hard mode, if you will.
Or really,
Um,
really stupid mode.
yeah, Dread mode.
It's like
And then they have rookie mode, which actually is the opposite of
a limited
that.
lives.
It's basically, you know,
I love the fact that they have the fucking balls to call at the difficulty setting. Oh, this is this is the free DLC mode that we're bringing it in. Hey guys, it's free, so thank you.
yeah. Thank
You're
you for
welcome,
including
right?
a mode.
You are welcome. It's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Come on,
I mean, it's
fuck
free.
off.
Yeah, it's not
One
much of
hit
an
kill
announcement.
is like the dumbest thing that you could possibly add to it, but whatever. You put a game genie hacked and then and then make yourself be like, oh guys, don't worry, hey, this is a free update. Fuck out of here, Nintendo. You're fucking drunk.
They are drunk, but they are also coming back in April with a second update called Boss Rush mode, which will just be all the bosses essentially, without the traversing, what you normally do in Metroid. But
Right. That's what we
yeah,
want.
that's what everybody's asking for. Come on now.
I mean, new levels or just continuing the story or just going like something cool like that. No. Let's just break. I mean, it's Metroid. Nobody cares about Metroid, right? So let's just do two lazy ass things so that people so we can tell people, hey, we have DLC for it, and
Hmm.
you don't even have to pay for it. You're welcome.
Exactly. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome.
It sucks because I would have wanted to see like real Metroid DLC, like more like I don't know
Another
something
area. Yeah, yeah, another thing to explore.
an
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
expansion, yeah. But
Yeah,
I guess that's what you get with DLCs.
that's what you get with Nintendo. Yeah. Nintendo Switch Online has an update that is out already, and that is Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. Again, this is for Nintendo Switch Online, so it's just basically available through the service. April 26th also comes Zombie Army 4 Dead War. There are 4 of these, and I'm just hearing about it on the 4th one, so I'm not really sure much about this one. I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
No, not really.
Good stuff. All right, next one out now is called oh my god, Getsu Fumaden Undying Moon. This is a very weird looking game, sir. It is a side-scrolling, what appears to be a side-scrolling action game, and it has some really cool animations and some very cool, art design. But I don't really know what's going on in there.
Dude, but it looks amazing. This is your jam, bro.
No, it is. Oh, for sure.
You don't know it just yet, but you already bought this game.
Yeah. The only thing that has me on it is just it's a Konami joint and all that, and I'm not sure how I feel about Konami. But
Konami.
yeah, but at the same time, things like this can get Konami to release their IP to somebody, so maybe we'll get another Metal Gear Solid, a good one.
What if this? No, I don't want to Kojima-less Metal Gear Solid. You kidding?
Well, you know what I mean. I'm just saying those type of things.
No, I was gonna say maybe games like maybe they get back into proper games and start releasing like cool little titles like this because I mean that get the hell is it called again?
Getsu Fumaden.
Getsu Fumaren Undying Moon. Yeah. Oh, it says available later today. This is out
Yeah,
already.
it is. It's out now. Yeah, it's out now.
I need to know how this game is faring because that game looks phenomenal, bro. I don't know about you.
Yeah. Well, you could take a look at it. I'll move on to the next one. Next one they announced was Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinako Kami Chronicles, coming out June 10th. Not really much to say on this one. I'm not familiar with the series at all, frankly. And this actually looks to be a racing game, so I'm definitely not into that. Next one.
Getsu Fumaren. No reviews from any.
No reviews yet. Oh, that's probably because it was embargoed, or even better, no one even knew it was coming out until Nintendo said it.
No one cares.
No one cared.
No, it looks
coming weird. June 2022. Lego Brawls. This is a bunch of Lego characters and what you would consider, basically. What do you call that? The Mario fighting one? What is that called?
This looks like Mario All Star. No, Mario All Star. Look at me. Mario,
PlayStation All Stars. Super Smash Brothers. That's the one. Yeah. So yeah, this one's coming out June 22nd.
Lego version.
Exactly. Then we had a game pop up called 2 Point Campus, which is coming on May 17th. This looks almost like Sims.
Yeah,
basically, yeah,
kind of like their own version of Sims meets college campus.
College campus, yeah.
I don't
know. Yeah. And finally, we have the two big drops at the end, and that was first off Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. First wave is coming on the 18th. This is our basically booster course passes. They're going to be 6 waves. Each will have 8 courses, and from prior Mario Kart games, completely remastered for Mario Kart 8. So basically, they will look like Mario Kart 8 tracks, but the tracks that were from the prior title. So very similar to what they did with Mario Party, where you have all the Mario Party old boards come in and get remastered. But
that's a lot of content, bro.
It is a lot of content. My only it's 48 courses in the end total. Is the price? And this one kind of threw me off. It's $25 per wave.
Per wave?
That's what it makes it look. Unless it's $25 total. Let me see.
Yeah,
waves 1 through 6
wouldn't be that generous.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's
$24.99. Sounds ridiculous, and also what Nintendo would do. The most Nintendo thing to charge, $25 for. Yeah, because again, let's see. Okay, here we go. MSRP
$24.99.
$24.99 USD. No, it looks like it's all of them, bro.
Well, it says wave 1 through 6, 48 courses. So maybe it is all of them.
Yeah,
maybe it is all of them.
Yeah,
okay. I got thrown off because it made it sound like that was just or I guess I looked at it and so immediately thought it was just the one. It is also free if you have the updated service, the Nintendo Online with the expansion pack. Then you don't have to pay anything. It'll be a free update for the game.
Nah, fuck that. I'll pay.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, man, why have you not bought Mario Kart?
I don't know, bro.
It's great.
I know it is. It's just, again, it's one of those things. It's like, who am I playing with here? You know what I mean? It's like,
and if we wanted to play together, we have to shell $20 for an annual Nintendo.
Well, I already have the service. I don't even know why.
You have the service. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't even know why I have that. But I do pay the $20. I don't pay the expansion pack, which is $49.99. So anyway, so that looks cool. Coming to Mario Kart 8. And then finally, September 2022 comes Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And they showed off interesting trailer. And if you're into the Xenoblade series, this looks to
who isn't? Am I right? Am I right?
Maybe. Not entirely sure. Overall, that's it. Those are the announcements, sir. What do you think of the direct? Well, first off, what do you think of the direct, and what do you think of the announcements overall? Okay, I think I may have lost you.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna fill in here. Can you hear me?
No, no, I can hear you now. I can
Okay.
hear you now. I'll let you talk because I saw that you were still talking, but you know how it goes, and
Yeah, for sure.
oh,
Good old Zencaster. No, I was asking how you feel about the announcements that they have, the games and stuff coming up for 2022.
first of all, I feel like we dedicated no time to what was probably one of the biggest announcements, which was this last one.
Oh,
But you know whatever. It's probably
which one's a Xenoblade? By all means, man.
no, because I mean I played Xenoblade 2, and it was like fine. You know, it's one of those games where
Good
I
thing we didn't spend time on it then.
it has because it has his fan base, but because I have never been into that universe,
Mhm.
like I've only heard the about Xenogears, right? And I think that might be something completely entirely different, maybe not even the same spiritual successor or spiritual prequel or anything like that to this Xeno Saga games or
Yeah, I
Xenoblade,
think they
what
are
I've been calling
connected.
it.
Yeah,
They're
I think they're
connected.
all connected. Mhm.
Yeah, no, I'm okay. I'll stick to the mainstream ones that everybody's been playing, the Final Fantasies and the Final
You need to go back to
Fantasies.
Tales of Rise. What you need to do.
Oh, I do need to
Um,
go to the sorry, that's right, that's right.
yeah.
No, but overall, I mean, it's I'm glad that I get to see a Nintendo Direct where they're actually talking about there are games coming, you know, uh,
Hmm.
which is what is sad that you didn't hear even a lot of people asking about because it was so more like people were almost forgetting, you know. We were like Metroid Dread came out, and that was like the last hurrah for for the Switch.
For the Switch. Yeah.
And now it's like we don't really have anything major to look forward to because you didn't bring this direct and talked about Metroid Prime 4. You didn't come to
Nope.
this direct and talk about, you know, at least Bayonetta 3. I would have been okay, even though I recognize that game wouldn't have been like the main streamer or anything like that. But it still would have been a little bit more exciting than anything that you showed me in here.
I mean, well, I don't know. Again, Mario Strikers, I think, is the highlights right
That's
here.
true. That's
Definitely
Minor Strikers.
Fire Emblem
Absolutely.
Warriors. Even though we're not particularly fan of that series, I know
No.
it's a Musou, but those things sell for some reason. No Man's Sky is cool that it's coming over. Mario Strikers Battle League, that's cool. That's a new one, and that's cool.
That's
Question marks definitely includes Star Wars, Assassin's Creed. I don't know what was
Star
going
Wars
on
was a
there.
big what the fuck because
Yeah.
it's that game has no business being brought back. You know, honestly, it wasn't a great game. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't a good Star Wars game. So it's not like, oh, there's fun memories. This game and it's awesome. It needs to come back. No, like that was not. I mean, it was not terrible, but it was not great. It was like the most run of the mill, like, oh, the idea was cool, but unfortunately the execution was lackluster. And then
Mhm.
the second one was even worse. I didn't even bother with the second one because it was pretty much unfinished. There were levels where you literally had an entire level where you didn't get attacked by anyone because they forgot to put the enemies on the level. So that's
EA,
like
bro.
literally as it
EA.
sounds.
Yeah.
So exactly.
That's EA in their well, I was
Is
gonna
this
say in their
EA?
bad days. I don't know if we're out of those days,
No,
honestly. I
no,
question that.
certainly not.
Yeah. From
So
there, like I said, MLB the show, good.
that
Good that
was
it's coming.
something. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
something.
Live Alive, that's an interesting one. I mean, I don't know if it's a major thing, but that's cool that
I'll,
after 30 years that game's getting remastered and brought over to the West. Never released here in the States.
I'll check that one out. I'll check that one out. See,
Yeah,
it
I'm
had a
interested
bunch
in that one. Yeah.
of little announcements like that. What are other ones?
Triangle Strategy is another one where it's like, but I've seen it already. You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
at this point, just release it. Um, Let me see the Getsu Famuden that we just noticed from
Mhm.
Konami. Um, that's really it. At that point, maybe Lego Brawls, but I mean, that's not really the big deal. And the Mario Kart 8. So I mean, 30
hello,
literally,
and the Xeno
and
you
the
keep
Xenoblade
wanting
Chronicles 3, sure.
I was,
It's
if
definitely not on
they
my radar.
closed
Clearly.
with that one, so you know that they thought, hey, this is the big, this is the one more thing.
Honestly, they could have closed with Mario Kart 8, the booster thing,
I
because I was
know
like, man,
that's
that's a
true.
lot of freaking content right there. But again, I got thrown off. I really thought it was $25 per, and I was like,
Oh,
fuck,
I don't blame
6 waves, $25, $150. What the hell?
you. That would be
Clearly,
the
I
most intelligent thing to
overreacted.
do.
Yeah, I overreacted significantly bad on that one.
Oh, that was stupid.
But yeah, I mean, overall, it's good to see that plan. But that also does spell. Well, it's interesting. Also, don't have any Breath of the Wild 2
No,
information, and that's
exactly.
supposed to be coming out this year. And I don't
Shit.
know who it was that drafted it in our league,
I
but
probably have it
I
in
have
1 hour.
concerns. I have concerns about that game now. I'm just saying.
Unless
So
the next Nintendo Direct, it's all about it because
I
that's a
mean,
big title deserves its own Direct.
that is
Ah,
true. That is true. Maybe that's what they're gonna do because they do
they
do
fucking better.
that. Yeah, when it comes to
Yeah,
their first party titles, especially that one. That's a pillar,
yeah.
if you will. So overall, I enjoyed it for what it was. It had some really silly executive moments.
Mhm.
Playing some volleyball and looking like a bunch of fools. But over that, I mean, it's still classic Nintendo, and it's good to see that they have some stuff to fill in gaps here and there. And maybe I will take out my Switch finally after a hiatus of a long time.
Maybe, yeah. I can.
Maybe.
Mine is a decoration. Mine hasn't been turned on since. I don't
I
even
want to play
remember when the last
Dread.
game.
I want to go play Dread, man. I hear it's
Yeah,
very
me
good.
too. Me too. I just,
Yeah.
yeah, me too.
I just got other stuff right now. It's like the radar is full. You know what I mean? It's like the radar is full right now. I can't. I'm not even going to pay for it. It's not like the price is going to go down anyway.
No.
So yeah. All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of an awesome episode 301. Guys, we are in the 300s. Can you believe this?
300s.
Of the Mouthful podcast. As always, if you haven't already, please go to goodgame.rocks, join the conversation there, and please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. This is Mad Dog signing off this week. Mr. David Santos, take us on.
Sir, I have a confession to make.
Oh,
I think we're gonna need to put this podcast as the next one because the recording that we did for episode 300, I still haven't found it.
that's because it's still in the Mojave Desert where we left it.
I told you, man. I was so drunk, I didn't know where I was being taken.
Actually, I don't even know it's the Mojave Desert. That's just what I heard. But
I heard it's just in the desert in Arizona. It was actually it was thrown in a landfill
next to ET.
next to the cartridges. Yeah, actually in the same hole. Believe it or not.
Nice.
They were like, "This is just as trash." Never to be fun. Let's protect humanity and never unearth this.
That is hilarious.
We'll find it. We'll find it. We'll have to finagle something for this episode and
sure.
put it first because, we'll find it anyway.
For sure. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
GG!